Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bella Vista High School in Fair Oaks, California, Bella Vista High School Stadium, where tonight the regular season home finale for the Bella Vista Broncos, and it is senior night as well here at the stadium, where the seniors on the football team and the cheerleading squad and the band are all going to be honored this evening. We welcome you to our final live stream of the year as well. George Tharlson and Aaron Kehoe. We're going to talk about the game a little bit later on, but we do have some important festivities about to happen here with the senior night and the honoring of all the seniors that are participating. Special night, kind of an up and down season for Bella Vista, but a time to recognize these guys, a lot of them who have put in 4 full years with the program.
Yeah, no matter what the results are on the field, you really want to take an opportunity to recognize not just the seniors on the football team, but the cheerleading squad and the band as well, because like you said, George, they've spent 4 years, most of them, in putting their blood, sweat, and tears, as it were, into this program, and so it's nice to be able to recognize them and then play a football game.
22 players that I was able to count that are listed as seniors, which includes some guys that are hurt, including Carson Newman, who has missed the entire year, and some others that have been injured more recently. Wyatt Knudsen is done for the year, but will be honored tonight as well among the seniors who are hurt, and Aaron Mora. We last time we were on the air, he had to leave the game early against Roseville, did not return, and did not play last week. Riley Dick got the start after kind of a slow start, who really turned it on in the second half last week.
Yeah, I think it was a big ask of Riley to come into the game and get to start. We've seen him take a snap here and there, but to be able to get to start, definitely settle down as the game progressed, specifically in the second half. And from what I've heard from the locker room, Mora is done for the season, and so it'll be Riley taking the start again tonight and next week at McClatchy.
On your screen right now, you will see the horse tunnel is all set up. We also have football players. Looks like Bella Vista's going in all red tonight. Kind of a new look from what we've seen this season. The cheerleaders are there. Football players and cheerleaders on one side, the band on the other. In a moment, we will be picking up the activities with the public address announcer, and we will take you through all of the senior night activities. So right now, it's kind of a calm atmosphere, if you will. And we look down and we see a lot of the stands are empty, but this is something that parents are going to be on the field as well to escort their respective players. I'm already trying to figure out how we're going to do this next year. We'll probably have you with a microphone.
I guess we're going to have to. Yeah, I'm looking at the north end of the stadium, and I just realized they are stacked with parents and family all the way around the north end there, I guess, with their senior players. This is always hard. It's great to be able to recognize the seniors, but it's hard because we have a football game to play, and teams got to get warmed up. And it's just as hard for Bella Vista as it is for Woodcreek, the visitor, tonight, because they can't be out on the field right now where they're doing senior night either.
Right. So what's likely going to happen here is we're going to have the senior night activities, and then you still have to have the regular warm-up after that. So we'll get started a little bit later than we normally would. As far as the game is concerned, obviously we are on the air now, starting much earlier than what we usually do for the broadcast, because we are going to bring you the senior night activities here. And so as you can see, in fact, I'm looking over at the visitor sideline, and I think that might be the JV team for Woodcreek. They're kind of moving over to one side to probably just grab their gear and get on their way, and then the varsity team will be coming before too long. Let us now pick up the action with our public address announcer and pick up the senior night activities.
Might have some dance team in there. But we'll do those senior night activities, and then the teams will warm up, and we'll have a ball game. Good chance to go get some dinner for yourself over the snack bar. We got various food trucks, nice cold beverages. Get yourself something to eat, something to drink, come back and watch a good football game.
And we should point out for those of you at home, that's actually not a bad idea. You're probably not that far from your fridge, and won't cost you anything more than what you've already paid, I guess. So.
Who doesn't want to
Oh, here, hang on a sec. There you go.
Yeah, who doesn't want to watch a football game with a snack, right? So
Yeah, got to do that. Got to do
Exactly.
that. Stock up, especially for families that may be watching us back east. You know, you might need the coffee.
need something to stay awake. It's going to be a late one tonight.
So what we're seeing is we are watching the parents and the football players. It looks like it's going to be the football players first, as they are going to be entering. And so let's go ahead and pick up everything.
Oh. Here are your senior varsity players for this evening.
Right.
Starting with your 4-year Bella Vista player number 2, Nolan Bernard. Nolan is being escorted by his dad and mom, and his little brother who is his #1 fan. His favorite football memory is singing on the bus on the drives home.
Woo! Way to go, Nolan!
4-year BB player number 3 is Logan Farron. Logan is being escorted by his mom and dad. His favorite memory is forming close friendships and helping coin the phrase BB do.
I already know who his memory gonna be.
4-year BB player and captain number 4, Carson Newman. Carson is being escorted by his mom and dad. His favorite memory was being part of the first BB team in years that didn't have a losing record. 4-year BB football player and captain number 5, Jameson Sheepa. Jameson is being escorted by his dad, mom, and younger brother. His favorite football memory is being one of the founding fathers to the slogan, #BBDo. 4-year BB player, quarterback number 6, Aaron Mora. Aaron is being escorted by his mom and dad and older brother. One of his favorite memories is the homecoming win versus River Valley this year. BB player number 7, Cameron Rouse. Cameron is being escorted by his mom and dad and older brother. His favorite football memory is the homecoming game against River Valley, where he got the nickname Wham Bam Cam. Football player number 8, Tamarius Alvarez. Tamarius is being escorted by his dad, mom, and grandfather. Number 9, Damian Washington. Damian is being escorted by his mother, Elizabeth. 4-year player and team captain number 10, Damian Rickett. Damian is being escorted by his mom, stepmom, and grandmother. His favorite football memory, making first team All-Metro and having fun with his brothers. BB football player and team captain number 11, Kai Brown, is not here. Oh, is that him? Oh. Kai is being escorted by his mother, Sam, and his Aunt Sabrina and Uncle Derek. Number 14, Sayed. Friends, J-Mo, Nolan, and Logan. And Carson. Number 25, Travis Frank. Travis is being escorted by his family. Number 26, Stephen Newton. Stephen is being escorted by his moms, Latundra and Ashley, sisters, aunt, and best friend. And he got kicked out of the game last week. Number 26, Julian Maldonado Conejo. Julian is being escorted by his mom, dad, and 2 little sisters.
His favorite football memory was making his first field goal. Number 36, Noah Weston. Noah's being a guardian, Andreas, and little brother. He is a blessing to all that come in contact with him. Number 51, Xander Medlin. Xander is being escorted by his mom and dad. Xander's favorite football memory is participating in a defensive play that resulted in a safety. Number 57, Wyatt McAllister. Wyatt is being escorted by his dad and mom. His favorite football memory is playing his first snap at Hiram Johnson. Four-year BV football player number 58, Jacob Disney Taylor. Jacob is being escorted by his mom and dad. His favorite football memory is when he was nominated for Player of the Week by the Sacramento Bee. Number 59, Brendan Josue. Brendan is being escorted by his family. Four-year player number 67, Wyatt Knutson. Wyatt is being escorted by his parents, brother, and his girlfriend. Number 71, Fred Corfrey. Fred is being escorted by his mom and dad and younger brother, Matthew. Four-year player number 72, Donovan Williams. Donovan is being escorted by his mom and dad.
Last one.
Number 77, Gabe Chance. Gabe is being escorted by his parents and his sister. His favorite football memory is squatting 427 pounds in the weight room and the team cheering him on. Good job. Great job, seniors. Great job, senior football players. Great season. Play hard. Now on to other students. We have the BV football student athletic trainer, Ashlyn May. She's being escorted by her mom and dad and siblings. BV football is beyond grateful for all that she does for our players. Thank you so much. Here we go, cheerleaders. Varsity cheerleader, Rose Alton. Rose is being escorted by her mother and father. Two-time varsity cheer captain and competition cheer team captain, Elliot Berryman. Elliot is being escorted by his mom and dad and best friend, Elisa. Crowd leader, competitive captain, Ava Dahmen. Ava's being escorted by her mom and dad. Her favorite cheer memory is when she made All-American cheerleader this year. Varsity cheerleader, Dominique Edwards. Dominique is being escorted by her parents and family. Her favorite cheer memory is one that time where Karina and I could pop a single bag of popcorn at the Intercom basketball game. They could not pop a bag of popcorn.
Go ahead.
Varsity cheerleader Jordan Geis. Jordan is being escorted by her mom.
Go ahead.
Varsity cheer Bella Hampton. Bella's being escorted by her mom and her Mimi. Varsity cheer captain Presley Judish. Presley is being escorted by her mom and dad. Her favorite cheer memory is interacting with the crowd rooters during games. Judish.
Go ahead.
Varsity cheerleader Kelsey Kobza. Kelsey is being escorted by her dad and mom. Kelsey's favorite memory of cheer is from competing at nationals with her friends.
Go ahead.
Varsity cheerleader Sophie Masagli. Sophie is being escorted by her mom and dad. Her favorite cheer memory is going on to nationals and Disney last year.
Okay, go.
Four-year varsity cheer Eve Steinbrecker. Andy. Eve is being escorted by her dad, stepmom, mom, and one of her younger brothers. Her favorite cheer memory is tumbling under Friday Night Lights. Andy.
Go ahead.
Varsity cheer comp captain Haley Welsh. Haley is being escorted by her dad and her dad. And her mom?
Looks like your mom.
And her mom.
I didn't check it. Okay, go ahead.
Varsity cheerleader Riley Taylor. Riley is being escorted by her mom. Riley's favorite memory of cheer was being co-captain with her best friend Haley.
Way to go, varsity cheerleaders.
Way to go, varsity cheerleaders. Thank you for your support and all your cheering.
Move on to dance.
Here we go, dance. Our first dance senior, Angelina Chavez. Angelina's escorted by her father, Jose, and her mother, Paula Reese Monroe.
Ileana. Go ahead.
Dance and color guard, Ileana Giano. Liliana is escorted by her mother, Sherry Winfrey. Ileana's favorite memory of color guard has been the performances such as the car show and the night rally. Dance and color guard, Reese Monroe. Reese is being escorted by her dad, Chris Monroe. Every moment on the team has been Reese's favorite memory. She can't just pick one. Dance, color guard, and spirit captain, Kalia Mendoza. Kalia is escorted by her mom and dad. Kalia's favorite memory is getting to perform with her team this year at football games. Four-year dance and color guard, Captain Michelle Gu. Michelle is escorted by her mother, Jing Yangu. Thank you, dancers and color guards. Here we go, band. Four-year band member, Kevin Bloom. Kevin is being escorted by his dad, Brian, and his mother, Sarah, and Rebecca, his younger sister. Four-year marching band and saxophone section leader, Maxim Shadyuk. Maxim is escorted by his mom and dad. Four-year band member, Zach Kelly. Zach is being escorted by his father, Gus, and his mother, Sharon. Come on, Zach. Zach's favorite memory in band is when BV and Rio's jazz bands managed to fit 50 kids in a hot tub at Santa Cruz. Four-year band and woodwind captain, Emma Kerwin. Emma's escorted by her mom and dad, Michelle and Trevor Kerwin. Five-year marching band and brass captain, Ronan Hughes. Ronan is being escorted by his mom and dad and his older brother. His favorite memories on marching band are performing in competitions where it rains. Five-year marching band and two-time drum major, Seth Morris. Seth is accompanied by his mom and dad, Ann and Dennis Morris. Your next band member, Bree Shipley. Bree is being escorted by her father, Jason Shipley. Last one.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Curtis Wyant. And Curtis is being escorted by his dad, mom, and his grandparents. One of Curtis's favorite memories on the band is performing with his brother, Anthony. Come on, Curtis. And there's your senior band members. And there's all your seniors for tonight. Congratulations, seniors.
And there you have it, the senior night honorees, the band, the dance team, the cheerleading squad, and of course, the football team. And so we are now just moments away as the football team now is starting its warm-ups here in the end zone off to our left, and Woodcreek is on the side of the field off to our right, and they are also getting in their warm-ups now. We'll see exactly how much time they put on the clock, but as we were talking about during the open, the teams do need the appropriate time in order to warm up. And a quick check of the watch tells us it is 10 minutes after 7 o'clock here in Fair Oaks, California. Woodcreek and the Bella Vista Broncos. Woodcreek coming into the game 7-1 on the year. They are 3-1 in the Capital Valley Conference, and they will have one more game, which will be a conference game after this evening. Bella Vista 3-4 on the year, having lost 4 in a row. Those to Antelope, Inderkum, Roseville, and last week to Yuba City. Bella Vista is 1-4 in Capital Valley Conference play. This is their Capital Valley Conference finale, and they will then match up against McClatchy next week to close out the regular season. As we've been talking about during the course of the season, and especially over the last few weeks, the fact that when you get to 4 wins, you are eligible for the playoffs. It is not a guarantee that you will get there, but you are eligible. So Bella Vista becomes eligible with a win either this evening or if they get the win next week over McClatchy. But we'll see where it goes from there. Some names to look for the the Woodcreek Timberwolves. Austin Catapodis is their starting quarterback. He is a senior, 6'3", 185 pounds. He is completing 56% of his passes for nearly 800 yards. If he goes for 206 tonight, he gets to the 1,000-yard mark for Woodcreek on the season. And he also, last year, percentage-wise, was a lot higher for the whole entire season. 69% of his passes for a Woodcreek team that went 2 rounds into the playoffs before losing to Christian Brothers last year. He threw for 835 yards last year. I would imagine, will probably reach that mark this evening because he's only about 40 yards away as far as passing is concerned. On the ground, listen for the name Hakeem Anderson. Well, he's only rushed for 483 yards on the season. He is part of a 2 or 3 pronged attack on the rushing game, but he averages 5.7 yards per carry. And so that is somebody that we will definitely need to watch out for and keep our eyes on as well. And then there's the name Brody Krupp. Brody Krupp is their kicker, an inside linebacker. He's a running back and a receiver. They like to throw him the ball. They like to give him the ball. He likes to kick the ball. All of that good stuff is stuff that we get to see him do. He's another one of those guys that may also be driving the team bus. And once again, hello everybody, and welcome to Bella Vista High School. George Tharlson along with Aaron Keogh. We've got about 10 minutes before they get the ball game underway. As we talked about before the senior night activities, they are going to make sure that the teams get their requisite time to warm up. Obviously, football is a violent game, and you don't want to exasperate any injury risks.
Well, there we go. I was starting to get worried there for a minute, George, because I saw the underclassmen supporting their teammates there as they came out of the horse head, and I saw Woodcreek come out and start warming up, and I thought, well, surely we're going to do something. Then I saw him break away, and now with the clock, certainly going to give them time, which is good. It's important to be warmed up. It's a little cool tonight, so.
I noticed that Bella Vista was warming up almost as soon as senior night things ended. They were right into the end zone off to our left, and they immediately started their little side sprints to get things going. So honestly, you never know, and every school does this for their final home game. So when you're the road team, you got to be ready for it as well, and you got to respect it. And so Woodcreek certainly is doing that, and everybody's taking their time to get the warm-ups going.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Broncos will have this again next week when they go to McClatchy for the final regular season game, because it'll be McClatchy's final home game, so I'm sure it'll be senior night for them as well, and we'll have this again, but be on the receiving end instead of taking advantage of it tonight.
So let's talk a little bit about Bella Vista, because obviously there are some things that since the last time we were on that have come down. We witnessed one of them, and that was when Aaron Mora had to leave the game against Roseville 2 weeks ago, did not return, and then he was replaced, of course, by Riley Dick last week, who made his very first varsity start. So we understand that with Mora, it's an MCL, and he's done for the year.
Yeah, the word I've gotten is that it's an MCL. I'm not sure if it's a sprain or a tear, but in either case, he is unavailable to play the rest of the season, which is always heartbreaking for a senior. In some ways, with Carson Newman, we talked a lot about him all year. He hasn't got to play all year. With Aaron Mora, you're getting to play, you're building the camaraderie with the team, and then all of a sudden it's kind of yanked out from underneath you. In some ways, I think that's almost harder. So disappointing, but he's on the sidelines tonight on crutches, here to support, and here to help Riley Dick, who will be making a second start tonight.
And there's kind of an issue for Bella Vista because Riley Dick is the backup. He's now the starter. Thomas Lonnie who is a sophomore, is on the roster as a quarterback, has not really seen any playing time except maybe a little bit here and there on defense. And then there is, and we don't want to speculate here, but his health might not necessarily be. We're not sure about him.
Yeah, I would say he's questionable. So, but you start to ask your question, well, what happens? I mean, heaven forbid, what happens if Riley Dick gets hurt tonight? Who goes in? Is it Thomas Lowney? Maybe. Is it somebody else? I don't know. Let's hope we don't get there.
Right.
That's not the only place that they've got challenges, though. The line, they've also got people that are hurt, and so it's the same sort of a thing. If somebody gets hurt, who do you put in?
And let's talk about that, because the line is really banged up. I know that they've made some changes throughout the course of the season. Max Keogh's moved over from guard to play center. They've moved Fred Corfey off of the center position into another position on the line. But then there have been some injuries there as well. Tyler Ellen is not going to play this evening, but hopefully is back next week. So a banged up offensive line, and yeah, well, once you start running out of players, then you have to look at players who are maybe play tight end and wear like an 80 series number, and then they have to report as ineligible.
Correct.
To take that tackle spot and play the tackle.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, part of this is to be expected. This is the 9th game of the season for Bella Vista. It's a long season. It's a violent game, like you mentioned earlier, and so guys are going to get banged up. It's really unfortunate, though, that, Wyatt Knutson's out for the season. Tyler Eland is out tonight. Gabe Chance has been out at the beginning of the season. He's back now, but he's trying to get back into shape and into the game. And so I'm honestly not even sure what the offensive front is going to look like tonight. I think Fred will be back at center tonight. I think Joaquin Vara is going to move to tackle. Jacob Taylor Disney, who's one of our seniors we recognize tonight, and Max Key will be the guards, I think. But I don't know. And so I think, for those of you that are praying, folks, pray that nobody gets hurt tonight, because I don't want to know what's going to happen.
And if you think about a banged up offensive line, a junior quarterback who has not played a lot this year, and a 7-1 football team that barely lost to Indercom earlier this season going up against you, and Bella Vista has had teams put pressure on the quarterback throughout the course of the season. And so I know that they kind of opened up the passing game last week against Yuba City. It makes me wonder if maybe part of the game plan tonight should be quick drop, get rid of it quickly. Find Rickett 3 yards downfield, swing it out to Newton or to maybe Bernard or Farron coming out of the backfield as well. CPOC, get the ball out of Riley Dick's hands quickly.
Yeah, I think that one of the strengths, actually, Bella Vista, even, we've talked about they're banged up and everything, but one of their greatest strengths, I think, is that they have a lot of different offensive weapons in all of those receivers that you just mentioned and running backs that they can go to. If you look at, like, Woodcreek, they have a few very talented folks. If the defense can shut those folks down, then what do? Whereas on Bella Vista's side, you have a lot of options. It's hard to shut down all of those options. So I agree with you. I think if they go to that gun T formation where they spread the receivers out, I would expect to see Riley Dick do a lot of short passes and hope that your receivers can do some maneuvering to get downfield.
And one of his best friends tonight could be the running game. And we saw Logan Farron and Nolan Bernard get off to a really, really solid start. But then as the Indercoms and the Antelopes show up on the schedule, the running game has struggled lately. And even in the very close 7-0 loss to Roseville, it wasn't what it had been. Khalid Vaughn has stepped up, and he's added to that running game. But if they can get the running game going tonight, that's another positive for the Broncos.
Yeah, I think that if they can get it going and set the tone, I think you and I certainly were caught off guard at the Roseville game with the low score and just the way that, it was difficult to move the ball, but we also were keeping Roseville from scoring. But you got to win football games by putting points on the board. And so for the Broncos tonight, they're going to have to use a lot of those different offensive weapons we talked about and really try to mix the play calling up and keep Woodcreek's defense on their toes if they're going to have a shot at being competitive tonight.
So Riley Dick last week in his first career start against the Honkers of Yuba City, he was named the offensive player of the game by Max Preps and the Bella Vista Broncos. 16 of 25, that's 64% of his passes, 232 yards, the best individual game passing this year, and that's mostly done in the second half last week for him. He had the 1 touchdown pass, and of course he led 2 other scoring drives that ended with rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what I saw was a quarterback in the first half that was nervous, which who wouldn't be nervous? I mean, the quarterback's a high-pressure position, and you got some really big guys that are coming after you. Honestly, I think even throwing the interception was good for his nerves in that, you go, well, how is that? Well, you throw the interception, it's monkey off your back now. Okay, everybody makes a mistake.
Can't get any worse than that.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I think once they came out in the second half and he really settled into a rhythm, what I saw were passes that were accurate, they were on target, they weren't too high, they weren't too low, they were kind of right there in the sweet spot. Receivers did a good job, and I think when you have somebody like Damian Rickett that is a very talented receiver, there were a couple balls that maybe were a little bit off, but because of his receiving skills was able to bring that ball down or get the pass interference call.
Think about this last week. Of course, no starting quarterback, regardless of experience, intends to or wants to throw a pick six. But you take that away, it's an even ball game. It's 3 touchdowns on both teams.
Correct.
And if Bella Vista gets the last touchdown, or maybe late in that game, because I think there was a missed conversion in there somewhere, but they get to that 3rd touchdown. If they start going for the tie, they go for 2.
Correct.
And instead of wait to possibly get that last touchdown where you go for 2. And so we could have had a tie game and go into overtime last week very easily. And again, that's not to downplay at all what happened to Riley Dick. It's just to talk about how close that game was last week,
right,
and how winnable it was for Bella Vista, even with the really slow start in the first half.
Yeah, at halftime, we were all, as spectators in the stands going, oh my goodness, here we go again. Came out in the second half, and it's like, with 3 minutes left in the ball game, parents are looking at each other going, hey, we could win this. And you could see it on the sidelines. The players believed, hey, we have a shot at this. They came up short. I know it hurts. You've got a team now that's got 5 losses on the year, but they have another opportunity tonight with Woodcreek to show what they can do.
So the clock is under a minute to go. The captains are now meeting at the middle of the field, and we are just about ready to get this ball game underway. We'll be discussing options. I wonder how long the conversation's going to take this week. I mean, it was really long last week.
Yeah, last week it was really long. But I think they're already done here.
They're already done. Big surprise, Bella Vista's going to receive the kickoff. 5 for 5 home games. But this time they are going to be defending the end zone that is off to our left, which I believe is the north end zone here.
Yep, the north end zone.
You get my directions all squared away here. And so Woodcreek will be defending the south end zone. So Riley Dick and company will be on the field first as we get this ball game underway. Game number 9, home game number 5, as the Bella Vista Broncos are wrapping up their final season in the Capital Valley Conference. We were talking about that before the game started. New conference next year. Some old foes like Roseville and Woodcreek, but some new teams coming into the conference next year.
Yeah, I think they're almost have it finalized, and I think that's what you're going to see is a mix of the Capital Valley along with some new opponents as well.
The band is on the field. We are going to have the national anthem here in just a few moments, and then we will be playing football. And this evening, our sideline reporter is Evan Batistessa. Let's head down to the field for a report from Evan.
Hey guys, coming down to you from the Bella Vista Broncos sideline, getting ready for their senior night game versus the Woodcreek Timberwolves. if the Broncos can secure this win versus Woodcreek, they will end their 13-year playoff drought. Back to you guys up in the booth.
All right, Evan, thank you very much. We'll check in with Evan a little bit more throughout the game, and yeah, they would become playoff eligible. I almost said bowl eligible. That was last Saturday that I was dealing with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, 4 wins makes you playoff eligible, and it would be a great way to get there tonight, and not have to wait till next week to see that.
So Woodcreek is making their way out to the field right now. Bella Vista will be joining them as well. Bella Vista in the all red tonight. Now I expect that it's going to be, looks like it's Ryan Berry. They actually have 2 kickers. Brody Krupp will do some of the kicking, and Ryan Berry will be doing some of the kicking, and it looks like it's Ryan Berry that will do the honors to get things started here. He's a 5'8", 155-pound senior who's also done some of the place kicking as well. He has 13 touchbacks this year, according to the stats on Max Preps. Here come the Broncos, the red-clad Broncos, and I don't see any gloves on the hands of Damian Rickett this evening.
Well,
I'll have to double-check that.
Check the
No,
binoculars.
actually they are red. He's got red gloves.
Yeah, it's red out here for the student section tonight, and I think the football team wanted to play along, and that's why you see the red pants and red jerseys.
So Rickett is on the left side, Newton is on the right, and Ryan Berry will get set to put his foot to it, and we will get game number 9 underway from the snout. We are underway here at Bella Vista High School, and there is touchback number 14 for Ryan Berry, and Bella Vista will get things started at the 20-yard line.
Let's see what this offensive front for the Broncos can do to give some protection for both the quarterback and for the backs and receivers to give them some time to get this ball down the field.
So Riley Dick, the last one to jog onto the field here
From the 20
for the Broncos.
Quarterback in the Broncos tonight is Riley Dick.
Rickett will line up out to the left. Diego Leidecker is in the backfield in a 3-man set in the backfield. Here's Logan Farron, and he will push forward for about 3 yards, maybe 4. We'll see where they actually spot him.
Left guard.
And that'll be a pickup of
about 3 on the play, bring up 2nd and 7.
Second down and 7 to go for Bella Vista.
The offensive front for the Broncos is going to be Fred Corfey at center, Max Keogh, Jacob Taylor Disney as the guards, Anthony Sampagnaro and Joaquin Vara at the tackle position tonight. That's what the Broncos are going to do up front.
Split backs in the backfield now. And here's Leidecker. First carry, I believe, of the season, and he gets spun around across the 25-yard line.
It's Rickett with the carry.
I'm checking. I'm sorry. That's Damian Rickett that had the carry.
4.
And that's a gain of 4 yards on the play.
2.
We'll make sure. So Leidecker seeing playing time in the backfield for the first time this year. Kalik Vaughn is coming in. Logan Farron will exit for this next play. It is 3rd down and 2 yards to go for Bella Vista. Leidecker comes in motion. Here's the handoff, goes to Vaughn. Vaughn has stood up right at the 28-yard line, and he is going to be dropped right there.
Side.
So that they're going to give him progress to the 29, gain of a yard. That will be 4th down and 1 now for Bella Vista. And this stage of the game, you don't mess around.
Yeah,
this should be a punting situation.
Absolutely, it's got to be a punting situation. Unfortunate, they're going to go 3 and out to start. We're able to move the ball there on the 1st down and a little bit on 2nd. Surprised that Vaughn did not go right up the middle there on 3rd down, but maybe that was a different play called.
So Ryan Warner is in the backfield, lined up in punt formation, and he will step right into it here, put this one away. And they're just going to let this one bounce inside the 30-yard line. So a nice punt from Ryan Warner.
About the 28-yard line.
That's a good 42 yards on that punt.
Yeah, I think it was what helped that punt a little bit. He got a favorable bounce, but the coverage was good for the Broncos. I think it intimidated that Woodcreek returner. Just that, all it takes is a little bit of a hesitation. Hey, I'm not going to touch the ball now, and they got that bounce.
So Woodcreek will go from the 29-yard line. Katapotis is their quarterback, number 9. They're going to line up with 1 man in the backfield and set with receivers either side. That's Akeem Anderson in the backfield. Krupp comes in motion. He moves around. Now they step up and they do that thing where they look to the sideline for the play. And now Bella Vista running across and gifts 5 yards to Woodcreek.
Coach Ott on the sidelines got his hands up. He cannot believe that on the first defensive play we have a penalty.
Quarterback by Austin Katopoulos.
That was Travis Frank that came running across. The flags are pink tonight. I am imagining that is breast cancer awareness. That is, we are in the month of October still. So that's 5 yards. It is 1st and 5 now for Woodcreek. 7-1 on the year, 3-1 in the conference. And here is Anderson. And Anderson will push forward to the right side, pick up a couple of yards.
They'll go over the right side, pick up of about 3.
Gain of, well, looks like they're going to give him to the 28. So that's a gain of 3.
So we have 2nd down and 2.
The 2nd down and 2 yards to go. Two wide receivers out to the left are Joey Nielsen and Gio Akayuz. 2nd and 2. Motion in the backfield. Looks like a busted play, and they shovel the pass off, and it's completed out across the 40-yard line. That's Brody Krupp.
That's Krupp with the carry.
And Brody Krupp takes it out near midfield.
I like that play call from the defense of the Broncos. They sent the blitz. It was well timed. It was just a tick off on getting the quarterback there in the backfield. Resulted in a 1st down, but I like that play call. I like the defense turning up the pressure. That seemed to be very effective against Yuba in the second half. Late in the first half, into the second half, rather.
So it looks like Woodcreek doesn't really huddle. Katopoulos just gets the call from the sideline, and everybody lines up. Krupp comes in motion again. He'll take the pitch play, and he's got some running room down the sideline. There goes Brody Krupp, and Brody Krupp is going to take this one all the way for a Woodcreek touchdown.
There was no one on that side of the field for the Broncos. I don't know what happened there, but there was no one in sight.
We'll call that a 51-yard run for Brody Krupp, and Woodcreek is on the board first. And you're right, he just saw that opening and just took off. So it looks like Woodcreek is lining up with the entire offensive line off to the left, and they're going to line up with Katopoulos in shotgun, and he's going to roll to his left as they look to go for 2. Katopoulos is going to try and turn the corner, send it downfield, and it is caught in the left corner of the end zone by Dylan Peralt for a 2-point conversion.
Katopoulos with that catch.
Not surprising Woodcreek going for 2. They've done that most of the season.
In the first quarter. Elvis is 0.
And that was effective again here, and all of a sudden it's 8-0.
And we saw some promising ness. Hard to get the right word out there. When Bella Vista was on offense the first time, unfortunately it was a 3 and out, but we saw some good things with their running game. You wonder when they're going to open up for Riley Dick and possibly have him throw the ball as Bella Vista gets ready to go on offense again.
Yeah, if I'm the coaching staff here for the Broncos, I'm not in panic mode yet, but certainly not even a third of the way through the first quarter. Being down 8 is a need to really open up your offensive playbook and try to get the ball moving. You can't go 3 and out again here.
So it looks like Rickett and Newton have switched sides on the return. And Barry again will get set to boot this one away, and there goes the kick. This one is coming in Newton's direction. This one was a little bit short, and Newton is across the 20 where he's met up by a host of white jerseys and will be dropped.
Newton gets the ball, takes it out.
Shy of the 25-yard line. Looks like they're going to call it the 20. They're going to, boy, are they going to put that at the 20?
And
wow.
they will mark it right at the 20.
Yeah, that's where it's going to be marked, is at the 20. Broncos have it 1st and 10 from there. So we'll see what the offense can do on their second series here. Sometimes you have that first series jitters on both sides of the ball. Woodcreek certainly did not on their offensive side of the ball. So we'll see what the Broncos do this time.
First and 10, Bella Vista from the 20. They're going to go right up the middle for about 3 yards.
Little trap play up the middle.
Looks like it might have been Diego Leidecker that was the ball carrier that time
Takes
for 3
up
yards.
about 2, maybe 3 yards. Second down and 7.
So one theme that we have seen emerge with the Broncos over the last several weeks is the use of different personnel in the backfield. I don't know if that's intentional to try to confuse the defense or just changing things up to see what happens, but Leidecker is that person tonight.
Second down and 7. Riley Dick, first pass of the game. He's got Damian Rickett out across the 30-yard line. They're going to say that's incomplete.
Pass complete to Rickett.
So that'll now bring up a 3rd down.
Good call to open it up, good pass, just couldn't quite bring it in there.
So it'll be 3rd down and 7 yards to go for Bella
Let's
Vista.
get
He
out of
had the
bounds
time, and
Apparently it's
Rickett was
incomplete.
there.
Could be 3rd down. 3rd down and 7.
It's a very quiet crowd here on senior night. Lots of, well, no, actually a packed house on this side. 3rd down. Dick is straight back to pass. Now faces some pressure. He's being flushed out of the pocket. Still looking to try and get rid of the ball. He's going to send it down in Rickett's direction. And a great catch by Damian Rickett out across midfield. Great adjustment, double coverage. He stepped back in front of them and made the catch at midfield for a Bella Vista first down.
I can tell you, George, that is not a pass that Riley Dick would have made, felt comfortable making last week. He stayed in the pocket. He scrambled outside the pocket. He had defenders on him. He stayed confident, even though he knew he was going to take a hit and made the pass.
Looks like there's a penalty against Bella Vista. And that's one of the things that can also happen when you're under pressure and you're extending the play, is there's the possibility of the holding penalty. And it looks like that's what's happening here. So it was a great pass play and a great adjustment on the part of Damian Rickett. And now the yardage will be marked off against Bella Vista.
The hold doesn't negate the fact that it was a good pass, right?
Correct.
All that we had there is Riley had a little bit more time to throw. But taking the pressure, staying composed to make that throw, that's all a good sign early in the game. The penalty, not so much.
So it's 3rd down and 18 for the Broncos. If they can run that same play again without the penalty, maybe to the far side of the field, because that's where Damian Rickett is.
Here's
They
the gun
spread it
tee.
out, 4 wide receivers. They're going to pump fake it and then swing it over to the left side, and the catch is made right there at the 20-yard line. Looks like it's another incomplete pass. So unfortunately, the old penalty flag rears its ugly head again, and that hurts Bella Vista. And so we get an incomplete pass.
Yeah, the gun T formation where we spread out, that's what we saw a lot in the second half against Yuba. That was effective. So if we see more of that, we'll have to see what happens. But Broncos are going to have to punt again.
Ryan Warner had a 42-yard punt the last time he kicked. He could use another one of those right here. They're not really showing him a lot of respect, though. Here's the kick. That was nearly blocked. This one's high into the air, much shorter, and he is on the ground. The ball goes out of bounds right at about the 42-yard line, and a penalty flag is down.
It's going to be roughing the kicker.
It looks like it's running into the kicker. He didn't make the personal foul sign. So let's see what they say here.
Roughing the kicker penalty against Timberwolves.
Unless they don't have the 5 and the 15 here in high school. But he didn't make the personal foul sign.
Yeah, I don't actually, in my high school rule book, I'm not running versus roughing. I'm not sure what the penalty is in high school, so we'll have to see from the referee.
The roughing, I know there's a difference that if you like hit the plant leg or something like that, it's 1, and if you hit the extended leg. So it looks like they're gonna wind up kicking this again. So it's the 5-yard penalty, and so they're going to bring this out to about the 18-yard line now. It'll be 4th and 15, and he'll boot it away again because this one went out of bounds at the Bella Vista 40-yard line. So they're going to give Ryan Warner another opportunity here to try and get this one a little deeper. Return men are standing at about the Bella Vista 45-yard line. That's only about 25 yards downfield. Here's the snap back. There's the kick from Ryan Warner, and that is going to be, it's off the hands of Perrault, who slips out of a tackle, is giving up some ground, and then finds the opening. That's David Perrault still going, and he's finally brought down at the 42-yard line.
It's a flag at the 25.
Another flag, this one at the 25-yard line of Bella Vista. So let's see what this one is all about. That's a personal foul against Woodcreek. The question is, did it happen before or after the punt?
That I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see.
If it's after the punt, Woodcreek gets the ball. So we will see. It looks like they're going to mark it off from about the 40, which is where the play ended. Although he is with his thumb pointing back at Bella Vista.
Well, the Broncos have their defense out, and Woodcreek has their offense out. So it looks like Woodcreek's going to keep the ball. So it happened after the punt.
So they're going to mark off the 15 yards from the 40-yard line. So it's going to be right around where they fielded the ball.
First and 10 on offense.
Well, so the net gain is no return yardage.
Correct, and 2 big breaks for the Broncos. Number 1, getting to repunt, and number 2, the tackle that I think that was Kai Brown on the tackle that he just almost had and then missed, ends up not being that big of a deal because of the personal foul. They're going to get the ball back, as you said, where they fielded it.
Well, this was right around the place where Brody Krupp ran for a touchdown in their previous possession. So Perrault is going to line up as one of the receivers out to the right. They've got 2 men to the right. Anderson is the lone setback. He's had 1 carry so far. Krupp comes in motion. Katapotis is back to pass. Now he's going to take off and run with it. He sees all kinds of green in front of him and will tightrope the sideline down past the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him out of bounds at the 38. So that is going to be a gain of 17 yards on the play for Katapotis and a first down for Woodcreek.
And good on Jamison Supak there for chasing, or Sepak for chasing him and getting him to step out of bounds. Sometimes that pursuit and just that extra effort can cause the man to go out of bounds, which is what happened there.
So first and 10. They line Krupp up as the wingman on the left, 3 wide receivers. Krupp comes in motion. Katapotis back to pass, and the pass is dropped at the 30-yard line.
Pass ball's incomplete. Newton on the coverage.
And the pass was intended for Joey Nielsen, who has 7 yards for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season for Woodcreek. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. Krupp going in motion. He'll take the pitch play to the left side. This time Bella Vista has it diagnosed beautifully, and they drop him back at the 39-yard line. That's a loss of a yard. And we're going to look now at a 3rd and 11. So here's an opportunity for the Bella Vista defense to make a stop and possibly get the ball back. At the 39-yard line, you do wonder if it could be 4-down territory, but we'll see.
Yeah, excellent containment there by Jacob Taylor Disney. Travis Frank coming over to help out there, and they read that very well.
So Woodcreek taking their time getting the play from the sideline. Krupp this time is going to line up as a receiver to the left. Anderson is the lone setback. 1 wide receiver to the right and a wingman on the right who comes in motion. That's Perrault. Katapotis rolls right. Does he take off running? He sends the ball downfield. They've got the first down inside the 30-yard line.
Matthew Bunny with a double leg takedown. I would have scored in a high school wrestling match for sure. Holy moly.
Akayu's makes the reception. Akayu's 15 receptions for 282 yards going into this game. You can add another 11 to that, which brings him up to 293 on the year. He's averaging nearly 20 yards per reception on the season for Woodcreek. So they face the 3rd and long. They get the 11 yards needed, and it's a first down for the Woodcreek Timberwolves. Anderson again is the lone setback, and he'll get the carry. Looks like his 2nd carry of the evening, and he'll bring this one inside the 25-yard line. That's a gain of about 5 yards on the play for Hakeem Anderson, right around his average.
Yep.
And that'll bring up a 2nd and 5 for Woodcreek, who are nearing the red zone once again against Bella Vista. Bella Vista, their previous 4 home games, wore the black uniforms. Of course, one of those was Military Appreciation Night. And now tonight, it's the red.
Easy to tell them apart from Woodcreek when they all red, though.
Yeah. Bella Vista stacking the line here as the handoff goes to Anderson once again, who's pushing the ball forward, brings it down to the 20-yard line. Should be down right at the 20. It looks like there's a flag on the play.
Picks up a few yards.
Sometimes those pink flags are very easy to see, and sometimes they aren't. We're going to get a face mask against Bella Vista, which again did not signal personal foul. So this looks like the 5-yard, which is a tack on, and so that will give them the first down.
Inside the 15-yard line.
So they'll bring the ball to the 15-yard line. To be 1st and 10 for Woodcreek. New running back into the game for the Timberwolves is James Williams, who does carry the ball as well. 40 carries for 215 yards on the year.
For only playing 7 minutes of football, we have had a tremendous amount of laundry on the field in the way of flags.
And a lot of standing around, too. Krupp comes in motion. Here's Williams, big hole right side. Gets by a couple of tacklers, and he takes it to the house.
Touchdown,
Woodcreek, their second touchdown of the game. This one with 4:37 to go in the opening quarter, and the Timberwolves now up 14-0 and they're very quick to come out here. And are they going to kick it? It looks like they have Ryan Berry on the field they have Catapotis, but Berry is out there as well. I mean, it looked like Berry was setting a tee down, but no, it looks like they're lining up on an offensive formation once again. The same formation that they used the last time they went for 2. Catapotis. Again, they've got somebody wide open in the end zone. The official trips over a Bella Vista player, and I believe
I think Bella Vista came up with it. Is that Rickett that has the ball in his hand?
So with 4:37 left in the first quarter, Bella Vista 0. Woodcreek 14.
So the conversion attempt is no good.
You know, going back to that last play, you have to credit Woodcreek's offensive line. A pickup truck could have driven through that hole. It was massive. Excellent job moving the defense out of the way. Bella Vista's going to have to work on that. Otherwise, more touchdowns are going to be scored, I'm afraid, on the Woodcreek side of the ball.
Well, the last 2 seasons, I hate to be the bearer of the difficult news, but the last 2 seasons that these 2 teams have played, Woodcreek hung 58 points on Bella Vista in each game. One was a 58-0 win, which I believe was last year, and the previous year is 58-7. So here they have 14 points already here in the first quarter with 4:37 to go. I know Bella Vista wants to try and get this thing rolling here. We've seen some good things on the offense. We've seen some solid running, and we saw a really nice pass play that unfortunately was nullified by a penalty. Here's the kick. This one's going to come up short of the end zone as well, and this is Newton. Or check that. This is somebody new carrying the ball. That was Tamarius Alvarez, who is a senior wide receiver, playing in his final Bella Vista game today. Gets an opportunity to return the kick, and he brings it out to the 21-yard line. That's about a 19-yard return for Tamarius Alvarez. And the Broncos, once again, starting right around their own 20, and they're hoping to try and put something together on offense.
Simply put, George, they've got to clean up the penalties if they're going to have any shot of moving against this very well-coached, well-disciplined Woodcreek defense.
Here's Logan Farron, who will try the left side, and it looks like he may get a couple of yards to the 23. So that'll bring up a second down and 8.
About a yard, second down and 9.
Oh, I put it in the front. Good job. I was like, I don't see it.
Crowd trying to add some energy to this.
Slow about that cheer, and it made me sad.
Second down, we're going to call it 8 yards to go. Here's Damian Rickett on the jet sweep, looking for the block, looking to turn the corner, and he'll push his way across the 25-yard line. It's a gain of about 3 yards for Damian Rickett, and now the Broncos will be looking at a third down and about 5 yards to go.
Really a critical third down here. They have not been able to secure a first down in the game so far. Just under 3.5 left in the first quarter. They really need to get a first down and develop some sort of momentum, not only to generate some good things for their offense, but also to give their defense a chance to rest. The defense has been almost entirely on the field this first quarter.
So Rickett will go out left once again. It is third down, 5 yards to go. Dick will roll out to his left, has the time off the back foot downfield, and just short hops Nolan Bernhard at the 45-yard line. So the pass is incomplete. Punting time once again for Bella Vista. And the offensive woes are continuing against a very good Woodcreek team.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like sometimes we're looking for a pass too far down the field. It looked like JMO number 5 was open there for a pass at, right about the first down or a little bit beyond that. Opted to go a little bit deeper. That could be a little bit of inexperience with the quarterback, and we could see that corrected with some coaching on the sideline. So we'll see how Mr. Warner does with his third punt of the night.
His first one went 42. The second one maybe about 35 or so. Here's Warner stepping into this one, and he got his foot into that one. And this one is picked up by Peralt. Peralt, who's very shifty and very quick, is going to try and turn the corner. And he does find an opening and crosses midfield. So once again, Woodcreek finds itself on the Bella Vista side of the 50-yard line. And this offense, this balanced offense that features a lot of guys that can run the ball and a quarterback that can throw it, is back on the field once again.
Woodcreek is definitely catching Bella Vista. I've noticed it especially on special teams, flat-footed. That's something that's coachable and correctable. They may not recognize that they're doing it. That would help on special teams and on the defense on making tackles.
First and 10 for the Timberwolves. Krupp is the lone receiver. They'll give it straight ahead. This is Anderson. And Anderson does not go down easily as he brings it inside the 45-yard line. That's going to be a gain.
Right up the middle. Picks up about 5. Second down and 5.
I'm going to put that at the 43-yard line. So gain of 5 for Anderson. Second down and 5 yards to go. So they have a Cayuse as one of 3 wide receivers out to the right, along with Krupp and with Nielsen. And one man on the left as well. Actually, that's Krupp. He goes in motion, and he gets the pitch play, has the opening. There goes Krupp across the 40-yard line, and he has a first down inside the 40, about the 37.
With a first down carry.
They like that pitch play to the right side to Brody Krupp, and it always seems that when they do that, there's nobody there to defend it.
Yeah, the contain just was simply not there. I mean, luckily Damian Rickett was out there and made the stop. He was only on that side of the field because they were running trips right in that formation, so he was in pass coverage. But you're right, George, no one there.
Once again, Woodcreek taking its time. I really wish we had the snap clock in high school ball.
Yeah, if you could see it.
First and 10. And there goes Krupp once again as they fake the handoff to Anderson, and then Krupp will take it down to the 35-yard line.
So they redeemed themselves there with coverage to the right side. Not only did they cover the fake, they covered the quarterback and the pitch to the running back very well. So they are capable. We just got to see that consistently. Consistency is the key here.
So Krupp and Nielsen will line up on the left side this time. Tanner Smith into the game now for Woodcreek as well. And again, they run this wing formation, and Krupp will come in motion. Well, he doesn't that time. Catapota straight back to pass. He's got a wide receiver wide open at the goal line, and another Woodcreek touchdown. Gio Akayus with the reception, and once again, on the board from the 35-yard line. Woodcreek, their third touchdown here in the first quarter.
Just completely blown coverage. Receiver had his man beat by 3 or 4 steps there, and that was an easy, I know we're playing football, but easy layup for the quarterback to his receiver to play off our neighboring sport, basketball.
I do not understand these conversion formations. They've got 3 people stacked to the left, 3 more to the right, 3 linemen in the middle. The swing play goes to the right, and he overshoots the receiver.
Pass incomplete.
I'm all for
Okay.
your occasional trick play, but this cutesy stuff has now not worked 2 out of the 3 times. Time to go back to a traditional set if you're Woodcreek.
Start kicking the extra points.
Yep.
Doesn't say much. You know, Woodcreek's a very good football team, so I don't want to sound like I'm like taking shots at them or anything like that. You're a 7-1 football team. Your only loss was to Intercom. I'd have to go back and watch that game to determine if they were doing any of this stuff. It was a 5-point loss.
Yeah, it was
like
20-15.
Yeah. You know, that's kind of an awkward score that would suggest maybe a 2-point conversion, and maybe, I don't know, or there was a field goal in there somewhere. I don't know. Obviously, when it's Woodcreek playing Intercom, the strategy is going to be a little different too. If you have the opportunity for the field goal, you're going to kick it,
right?
Because you need the points. When you just scored your 3rd touchdown here, maybe you can mess around a little bit. I don't know, but
well, the biggest break here coming for Bella Vista is in 48.5 seconds because they're going to get a quarter timeout and be able to regroup a little bit. The defense has been running ragged here, and they need to be able to regroup.
Well, they've got the ball teed up at your favorite spot, Aaron.
Right on the snout.
And there's the kick. This one is coming in the direction. Kick return here, it looks like that's Newton. Newton brings it across the 20 out to the 21-yard line. And so Bella Vista started every possession right around the 20. Woodcreek had one that they started at Bella Vista's 29-yard line. Everything else has been near midfield because Bella Vista has not been able to get a first down, and so they're punting from deep in their own territory.
21-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, when you give your opponent that's 7-1 short field every time, they're going to score every time. That's just what's going to happen.
And when you're as good as Woodcreek is, where most of your games you're putting up 40-plus points. Here's Nolan Bernhard. Bernhard tries to turn the corner, and he shoots forward out to about the 23-yard line. So that'll be a gain. Well, it looks like they're going to give him progress to the 24. So that's 3 yards, 2nd and 7. And we're hitting now 25 seconds to go before the end of the quarter.
Bring up 2nd down.
And I see Riley running back out to the huddle, but given there's 15 seconds, I don't see the Broncos getting a playoff here.
Yeah, and maybe they just, like you said, maybe they just want to let the quarter expire, take this extra time to regroup a little bit, and then see what happens as they move towards the north end of the field. We're 3 seconds to go. There's not going to be any time to snap the ball, and that was maybe by design. So it's senior night here at Bella Vista. The Broncos trail 21-0 as we come to an end of the first quarter of play. It's 20-0. Sorry, I gave them the extra point. But 20-0. Woodcreek is in front as we have come to the end of the first quarter of play. We're going to head downstairs to Evan Batistetta with our first quarter report.
Hey guys, back down here on the sideline. Broncos down 21-0 at the end of the first. Struggling to hit their stride at the moment on the offense. Let's hope they can break through in the second quarter. Woodcreek so far has been using a heavy run offense. Let's hope the Broncos can stop that in the second quarter. Back to you guys.
All right, Evan, thank you very much. And if they're going to stop that running game in the second quarter, what do you think they have to do?
Well, I think for starters, they've got to get containment. Woodcreek has found a lot of success running to the right side of the line. So the contain on that side has got to improve. And then I think the other thing, and I mentioned this earlier, I've seen a lot of plays both on kick return, special teams, but also on defense where it looks like the Broncos are a little bit flat-footed. And if they can adjust and get off their heels, it helps with the quickness, it'll help with the tackling. I've just seen too many plays where Woodcreek is simply just, hit in a little juke move or something and we're completely caught off guard. So if I was special teams and the defensive coordinator, I would be indicating that to the players. I'd be telling them, hey, we got to get on our toes. We got to watch what we're doing. We got to attack the ball more, go to where the ball's going. But more than anything, George, the contain has got to improve. If that doesn't improve, they're going to run around the right side all night long.
Brody Krupp, 63 yards rushing in the first half, 51 of that coming on the touchdown run. Bella Vista will look at a 2nd and 7 now to begin play here in the second quarter. The fortunes change. They switch ends, and Bella Vista will now be moving toward the north end of the field. Maybe that'll bring him some luck.
At this point, I'm willing to hope for anything, George.
So we're just waiting for the officials to get everything in order and get things started. Hey guys, we don't do commercials on the live stream, so you don't need to wait for us.
I don't know what they're talking about.
They don't have that big clock that I saw last week at Husky Stadium that they bring out onto the field during big-time college games. It counts down the 3 minutes on the TV timeout.
Sure, yeah. Looks like we're about ready to go now. There's the ready for play whistle.
All right, so Damian Rickett will go out to the left. Matthew Bunny is going to line up close in on, well, he's to the left, Rickett to the right. And then a man coming in motion is Bernhard. They're going to screen at this play on a slant pattern to Rickett. He makes the catch high into the air and comes crashing down to the ground at the 30-yard line. And that'll be a pickup of 6, and will bring up a 3rd down and 1 for Bella Vista, and a chance for their first 3rd down conversion and their first down of the game.
I see now what the referees were discussing now that I looked at the sideline. The box on the side had said it was 3rd down to start the second quarter, but it was not. It was 2nd down. So they got that corrected, and now Broncos here with a chance with 3rd and short yardage.
I'd say that's worth the delay.
Hey, as a Bronco fan, yes.
So it's 3rd down and 1. Farron will line up as the lone setback, and they will give it to Bernhard, who is a wing. It looks like he juggled it a little bit, but he brings it across the 30-yard line, has the Bella Vista first down, and brings it out to about the 32-yard line. Looks like that was Tanner Smith, one of the defensive backs for Woodcreek, that made the stop. 1st and 10, Bella Vista.
You know, I'm a big fan of breaking a football game down into the 4 quarters. First quarter is over, done with. We can't go back and fix anything. This is a new quarter, and so far, positive for the Broncos.
And one of the things that worked for them last week is when they opened up the game and threw it more. We'll see if maybe at some point they turn Riley Dick loose. Right now, a very late handoff to Bernhard. Bernhard will try and get his way to the 35. I don't think he quite made it. Well, actually, looks like they're going to say that he made it to the 35 for a gain of about 2 yards on play. And so Nolan Bernhard with a couple of yards, 2nd down and 8 yards to go.
You know, we had a couple plays like this last week where, again, it's a lot different coming in for a couple of plays as a quarterback versus having to command the offense the entire game. And there were a couple of plays where there were just some miscues. I don't know if that was a design to be that late of a handoff. It looked to be a little bit of confusion, and at the last moment, quarterback handed it off and said, hey, you go try and see what you can do.
So Bernhard is in the backfield right behind Riley Dick, 2nd down and 8. Check that, it's fair, and they fake it to him. Here's Riley Dick, back to pass. He's got Seapock wide open across midfield. Jamison Seapock down the sideline, and he's out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. No flags.
First down, Bella Vista, Timberwolves territory.
Excellent play call, caught him off guard, great pass, great catch by J-Mo. And now you've got some momentum if you're the Broncos into Woodcreek's territory.
They mark the ball down to the 27-yard line. That is a gain of 38 yards on the play. 1st and 10 for Bella Vista. The band is into it. Let's see what the Broncos offense can do. Here's Bernhard. Bernhard has stood up in the backfield, and he is going to be dropped. Looks like they're going to mark him back at about the 30-yard line. So that's going to be a loss of close to 3 yards on the play. They'll set the ball down right on the 30-yard line.
Almost a premature whistle there. He was keeping his feet moving and was starting to shed a defender there, it looked like. I don't know that he would have, made any significant positive yardage, but he might have got back to the original line of scrimmage instead of losing yardage.
They've marked the ball So just a bit to the left of center, about halfway between the midfield area, the middle of the field and the hash mark, which means the right side is a little bit wider, and I wonder if that might be an opportunity for Riley Dick to roll out to his right. We're going to get a timeout called by Bella Vista. They've got a great opportunity right now, trailing 20-0, and they don't want to let this opportunity slip through the cracks, as so many have this year because of penalties and turnovers and what have you. And so the timeout here, I think, is a good call to kind of regroup and maybe discuss more what they want to do here with 9 minutes to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the coach on the field, but given where the ball is and given how successful, when I say successful, I kind of mean unsuccessful, the run has been thus far, to me, this is 3 opportunities to throw the ball and get a first down. You're in Woodcreek's territory. You're not going to punt the ball from here. It's too far back for a field goal, more than likely. So you have 3 opportunities here to spread out your offense and try to get something going here and keep the offense out on the field. I just feel like the run game, there's been, a couple plays, but more often than not, they're picking up 2-3 yards on the run so far, and that's not going to get you a first down in 3 plays when you're 2nd and 13, 2nd and 12.
Imagine what kind of energy it could produce if they do complete a 30-yard touchdown pass right here.
Well, I mean, you can hear on our side, I don't know if you can hear on the live stream, but the band is playing, the cheerleaders were cheering right off that big completion, and now suddenly we found some life in the home stands.
So Farron lines up in the backfield, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left. Riley Dick straight back to pass under pressure, gets rid of it. Downfield, it's intercepted. And coming back the other way, this one's going to be points for Woodcreek. They're not going to catch him. Bringing it all the way back, another pick 6. Tyneal Martin with the interception, the linebacker. Riley Dick had to get rid of that one really quick because of the late blitz. And the guy that got through untouched. And just like that, it's another touchdown for Woodcreek. We were just talking, that came right off the timeout, too.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the hardest things, Bella Vista with their wing T offense, they pull the guards a lot. But when you pull the guards, then that only leaves 3 offensive linemen. And if defenses that know you're playing Bella Vista know that, they load the box with 8-9 people, somebody's going to come through untouched. So then it forces a less mature quarterback than your senior Aaron Mora to have to make an ill-advised throw because he's going to take a hit and doesn't want to take the sack.
And here comes the 2-point conversion attempt, and Catapotis goes left, then he gives it to Peralt coming back right, and he's untouched.
In the first half, Broncos 0, Timberwolves 28.
Well, 28-0 is the score now. Very promising drive for Bella Vista, and unfortunately it ends on an interception. Riley Dick faced 2 options when he dropped back to pass there and the blitz came in. Either throw it up for grabs like he did or get plastered. And so, I mean, what do you do in his situation?
Well, I've never played quarterback, so I don't know what it's like to have a big old defenseman coming at me. I imagine it's not pleasant. He's trying to make a judgment call there. You have to respect that. And unfortunately, the call just did not fall the way that we wanted.
And I know that a lot of times quarterbacks will get criticized for throwing that ball away. But, again, in that particular situation, what else could he do? I don't know that there was much else that he could do. Alvarez is back deep to receive along with Mark Newton. Band trying to get the crowd energized. Here's the kick. This one's going to be short, and it's going to be fielded by Newton. Newton looking for some blocking, tries to bring it back and turn the corner. That's Mark Newton across the 30. Mark Newton is whacked at the 40-yard line and out of bounds. A textbook tackle on the part of Woodcreek. They go shoulder to shoulder there. Yes, it was a hard hit, but there's nothing wrong with it. And a nice return by Mark Newton of about 25 yards to get that out to the 40-yard line.
So again, good play on special teams. Now your offense has got to come out. You got to shake off that interception and go back to work. I saw the linemen talking on the sideline, trying to motivate each other, talk about what they did wrong. You know, that is a change from earlier in the year. Earlier in the year, we would have seen them yelling at each other, getting down on themselves. But I saw some encouragement. I saw some, hey, you did this, we need you to do this, and trying to work on some things.
Bella Vista is going to use another timeout, it looks like. I haven't quite seen them point, but he was facing the Bella Vista. So we'll see if
referee's coming over now.
Well, maybe it's an official's timeout.
Must be an official's timeout.
Looks like he wants to talk to the coaching staff.
Something about the clock.
And of course, as you know, in high school ball, the referees are not mic'd in the stadium, so they can't just make the announcement of how much time to put on the clock. They need to actually talk to the coaches to then relay it to their booth coaches, who then let them know let the clock operator know what needs to be done here if it is a clock issue.
Well, they've talked, and nothing's changed except the referee's walking back now, so I don't.
Well, maybe they determined that 8:36 is where we need to be. So the Broncos back in possession here from their own 39-yard line. Farron in the backfield, along with Bernhard. Riley Dick, they're going to have him throw it. And a nice comeback catch on the far sideline, just shy of midfield.
Big pass complete.
That's Damian Rickett that made the reception for Bella Vista. And that's going to get them right close to the first down marker, just about a yard shy. So we'll give him 9 yards on the pass play. And that's that'll be a second down and 1.
Now that time there was an adjustment on the offensive front. Somebody was untouched coming through. Jacob Disney-Taylor left his block to pick up the more pressing defender on the quarterback and give him just a tick more time to throw.
Here's a handoff, goes inside to Logan Farron. He'll take it right up the middle and across midfield for a Bella Vista first down.
First down, Bella Vista inside Woodcreek territory at the 49.
So 2 plays, a pass and a run, gets Bella Vista a first down.
Whoa, probably.
All right.
1 wide receiver to the left. And Dick is going to roll out to his left and under pressure, and he is going to be sacked back at the original line of scrimmage where this drive began at the 39-yard line. It's a huge loss for Bella Vista right there.
That was one where you just got to throw that away. It was outside the tackle box. You got to get rid of that ball. There were two
All you
defenders
do is
coming.
Get it to the line of scrimmage. You don't need a receiver in the area.
Correct. There were 2 defenders there. You had a lineman pick up one. There was nobody else to pick up the other one. If you're the quarterback, you got to see that and get rid of that ball.
Well, as Riley gets more experience playing the position, I think that he'll learn that. He'll see it on the tape this week as well.
I do see Thomas Lowney down on the sideline warming up, so that supposed maybe injury is not maybe quite as apparent as we thought. I see him warming up down here. Not sure if we're going to see a little bit of him here in a little bit or not.
So Dick will line up in the shotgun for the first time this year. Slant pattern right side. Rickett with the reception at the 43-yard line.
Rickett picks up about 4.
Tyneal Martin, who had the pick 6 a few minutes ago with the stop for Woodcreek. It'll now be 3rd down and about 19 to go. Back to passes. Dick once again flushed out of the pocket and sacked once again as he's dropped back at the 31-yard line.
Looks like there's a flag, though. It's going to be a horse collar.
Which, well, high school ball.
Yep, personal foul, horse collar.
And a personal foul in high school ball is not necessarily an automatic first down. They'll get the play over again.
But
I mean, these personal fouls should be automatic first downs, and I don't understand why they're not. We'll see what the ruling is here.
Well, the challenge is it'll be from the spot. So it's really, I mean, it's only going to give them 5 yards of positive yardage from where it's 3rd and long, but he was sacked 10 yards behind that. So, I mean, it'll make it 3rd and more manageable, but
let's see what are they going to signal this again, or do they? I guess they only make it once. So it's a 15-yard penalty. It will bring the ball.
Oh, it's from the original line there.
They mark it off from the original line of scrimmage. Boy, how many yards are they off here?
So it's 15 yards from where they snapped the ball, not from where the penalty occurred.
But wasn't it the 39-yard line?
Yeah.
This almost looks like they marched off 20 yards.
Well,
because he was sacked at the 39. Well, no, I guess you're right. Okay. So we go from 3rd down and 19 to 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. So much more manageable for Bella Vista. I don't understand why personal fouls are not automatic first downs in high school football.
it seems like if they are in the pros, then certainly in high school they should.
In college they are.
Uh-huh.
Here's a handoff, goes to Kalik Vaughn. He'll take it straight up the middle. He's got the first down to the 35-yard line of Woodcreek.
1st and 10.
Well, and just like we've talked about penalties plaguing the Broncos, in that particular series of event, man, the penalty killed Woodcreek. They were getting ready to get the ball back.
That's 6 yards for Kalik Vaughn, a first down for Bella Vista, his first carry of the evening, and he had the opportunity right up the middle. Maybe you want to feed the beast a little bit more, if you will. 5:38 to go. Ricketts going to come out to the left. Vaughn is the lone setback once again. Bunny comes in motion. Here's Kalik Vaughn once again. Carries a tackler with him inside the 30-yard line before about 17 or 18 white jerseys bring him down. Okay, I'm exaggerating. That'd be a penalty or something.
Well, that's what it seems like, though. That's what it seems like.
About 7, 2nd down and 3 from the 29.
So a gain of 7 for Kalik Vaughn. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 3. See, all of a sudden, you've given Bella Vista a little bit of a spark here in the running game. Kalik Vaughn, by the way, little information on him. He didn't play at the beginning because he transferred in.
Yeah, he was from Castle Robles, so
146 yards rushing in 30 carries. And he's a junior, so they'll see him again next year. And here's a first down run for Bella Vista down to about the 25-yard line.
Was that Kalik again?
That was Kalik Vaughn once again.
Hey, if it works, keep going to it. Make them stop it.
That is another 4 yards for Kalik Vaughn and a first down for the Broncos.
This is as deep as the Broncos have had the ball all game. They had it down at about the 29 earlier, I think, but
4:20 to go before halftime. There is still a third and a fourth quarter left to go. Kalik Vaughn once again with the ball carry, and once again positive yardage for Kalik Vaughn as he will rumble his way down to the 20-yard line for another 5 yards on the play. Kalik Vaughn, 6'2", 215, defensive end on defense and fullback here on offense. It's been the Kalik Vaughn show this drive. And he's putting those runs together.
He looks very much here in these last few plays like what Woodcreek has used Akeem Anderson for as a fullback, and that's just to pick up 5 yards a carry. A couple of those, you got a new set of downs.
We're already looking at about 23 yards for Kalik Vaughn just on this drive alone. And there's going to be more right side inside the 15-yard line. Kalik Vaughn. We'll see where they actually spot him down.
Let me give you a guess who carried that ball.
They're going to call it the 14-yard line.
For another 5. First down, Bella Vista, inside the 15-yard line.
Got an injured player from Woodcreek.
So Kalik Vaughn, another 6 yards on that play. It'll be first down coming up after the injured player is attended to here. And it looks like they're kind of stretching him out a little bit. That might indicate either a cramp or a hamstring or something like that. So,
one of the things that I mentioned a minute ago was after that pick six, that the linemen were over talking to each other. They've hit on something here that's working, right? You got a running back that's keeping his feet moving, that's hitting the hole, that's not being flat-footed. but he's running behind a line that's blocking and moving Woodcreek out of the way. After that most recent run, I don't know if it was Gabe Chance or Tyler or Fred Corfey, but one of them kind of jumped up and, in jubilation, like, hey, this is working. We can do this. If you can, in high school football, so much of it is momentum, and if you can just have them believe that they can move the ball, they can move the ball. Like you said, we have a third and fourth quarter to play. Yeah, they're down 4 scores right now, but if they can punch it in right here before halftime, this is not over. And again, remember, Bella Vista is a traditionally much stronger second half team than a first half team.
Think about this too. You're down 28-0 against a 7-1 team that is a perennial contender for the league title every year. You know that it is a very difficult hill to climb to come back from that 28-0 deficit. But if your defense can step up like they did against Roseville, who knows? But you can also build the momentum going into the game next week, which is a very important game regardless of the outcome here. And especially if this winds up in the L column for Bella Vista, your playoff eligibility is on the line next week.
Correct. Yeah, you can't fall apart here. You've got to fight right to the end. Injured player still down. That's one heck of a cramp.
They are stretching out his right leg is what it looks like.
Oh, there he comes.
And now he's going to get up. Is that Krupp?
I don't know.
That is Brody Krupp, Mr. Everything for this team, who had more than 60 yards rushing and the 51-yard touchdown run to open the scoring here tonight. He is going to come out of the game. He is one of their 2 place kickers as well. Not that they kick extra points or anything like that.
Nope.
Instead, they go with some rather strange 2-point conversion formations. But if it works, it works, and it has twice out of 4 times tonight for Woodcreek. Ball is at the 14-yard line, and we're about to resume play. 1st and 10 for the Broncos. And Kalik Vaughn, who's carried the last 5 or 6 times for the Broncos, is going to get it again, and he'll take it left side, and he'll bring it down to the 11 for another 3 yards. More positive yardage for Kalik Vaughn.
With a carry up the middle.
They're going to mark this at the 12, so we'll call that 2 yards. Second down and 8. And Riley Dick, you mentioned that Thomas Lonnie was warming up on the sideline, but Riley Dick is continuing at quarterback. He's a junior this year. This is valuable experience for him. You know that he is in the prime position to step into the starter's role next year, although there could be a competition. Competition is always good, but this is good, very valuable experience for him leading into next year. Play fake, Riley is rolling out to his left downfield. He's got Kalik Vaughn, tries to juggle and make the catch, but it's incomplete. He had it in his hands, just couldn't hang on to it before the defense arrived, and so the pass is incomplete. It'll be 3rd down now and 8 yards to go.
He knows that he's being hard on himself, and that's okay, but that was a good play call to use Vaughn, but in a different facet there. They were looking for him to run, and he did run, but not with the ball, which kind of led some confusion on the defense. So see what happens here with a 3rd down now. I mean, obviously this is 2-down territory. I don't see the Broncos kicking a field goal from here. I see them going for a touchdown.
So 3rd and 8. They can get a 1st down at the 4-yard line, which would also be good. You don't have to get the touchdown here for Bella Vista, but if you can get the 8 yards, you can keep the possession going and you don't have to face a 4th down.
They have 2 timeouts left with 2:16 left before halftime.
Bernhard will go out to the right. 2 wide receivers to the left. Dick is back to pass, and he's under pressure again. This time he just kind of underhands the ball downfield. That should be an incomplete pass.
Yes, it should. He shovel passed that forward.
He shovel passed it forward. He had, I'm not sure.
That's what the referee's saying. He's holding up 4th down. There's flags down, but that was a shovel pass.
Well, the flags would be if there was no receiver in the area, although the ball, I think, got back to the line of scrimmage, and he was certainly out of the pocket. It's a holding penalty against Bella Vista. So if you're Woodcreek, do you make him go 4th and 8 here, or do you decline, or do you take the penalty and you push him back and give him 3rd down over again?
Well, that's a good question. Looks like they're going to make it 4th down.
Yeah, I don't see anybody backing up. High school, a lot of times you do. But then again, you know, depending on the school, the kicking situation isn't as automatic as it is in college or pros, where this would be an automatic decline the penalty.
Got a referee didn't pick up his flag.
So we get the holding penalty. They're going to decline it, and so that'll make it 4th down and 8. And they are going to bring the field goal unit on.
Yeah, they're going to try to kick this and get some points.
Which I can't argue with that. So here is Julian Maldonado Conejo, who has picked up the extra point duties in place of Aaron Mora and will now handle all field goal kicking. He did have the 37-yard kick against River Valley a few weeks ago, shortly after becoming eligible.
This looks to be about, 32 yards? Is my math right there?
They're going to mark the ball at the 18-yard line, so this will be a 28-yard kick. Matthew Bunny will set it down. Here is the kick on the way, and it is good. Julian Maldonado Conejo with a 28-yard field goal attempt, and Bella Vista is on the board.
You know, I kind of like that a little bit because that, Woodcreek says, hey, we're going to make it 4th down. You guys are out of luck, and Bella Vista says, fine, then we'll kick and get some points. It's only 3, but it's 3 more than we had.
Yes.
Off some nice running.
Yes.
And really, if Khalid Vaughn comes down with that pass, that's going to the end zone or at least getting a first down there. I'm not putting that on him.
Right.
The ball was there. You're going to make mistakes, whatever. But there was a lot of momentum, a lot of good in that drive.
We saw him really come on against Antelope and Intercom.
Yes.
Again, those were two rather significant size losses, but still he came on. We didn't really see, we saw him against Roseville, but the running game really just didn't get going in the Roseville game. There were some good and bad moments for the offense and a lot of penalties, but it looks like they might be onto something right now.
Yeah, and again, it's little steps here, but Bella Vista's kicking off. They haven't kicked off the whole half, but they are going to get the kick off because we received to start the game. So with 2:08 left, that's a positive. Like when you're kicking off to their team, that means you're scoring. So, I don't want to overplay 3 points, but it's got to feel better having 3 points on the board than sitting with a 0.
As he has done all year, Ryan Warner will handle the kickoff duties. Actually, I think Julian Maldonado Conejo probably has a couple of kickoffs when Ryan was a bit banged up earlier in the year. And here's the approach from the snout. And this is a line drive kick that is going to be taken inside the 20-yard line for Woodcreek. And that's Williams, who's carrying tacklers with him for about 8 yards as he gets it out near the 40-yard line.
Williams kicks the ball out to the
James
40.
Williams on the kickoff return. That's roughly about 23 yards for him on that kickoff return. And 1st and 10 now for Woodcreek, and here they are once again near midfield to start a possession.
Well, 5 to 7 yards of that was simply with Broncos just hanging on for dear life. Meeting the back, the returner is one thing, taking him down is another apparently.
So 2 wide receivers to the right in a double wing formation. Perrault comes in motion and will take the pitch. This is David Perrault, patiently waiting for some blocking, and he's going to pick up nearly 9 yards before he's pushed back. So 9-yard gain for David Perrault, and that gets it to the 49-yard line for Woodcreek. A 2nd and 1 coming up with 1:38 to go. Back to pass now is Catapotis. He's under pressure, gets away from a couple of tacklers, then he floats one over to the left side, and he's got a reception and all kinds of running room down the far sideline, and a big first down for the Woodcreek Timberwolves. So Catapotis, he had that safety valve on the left side, and he got himself a nice long gain and a first down.
They just seem to be a step ahead on the offensive side of the ball with our defense. pass coverage is just not, it's not meeting the defensive requirements of an offense like this right now. Can that be corrected at halftime? Sure it can. But right now they got a leg up.
22 yards on the play for Woodcreek. First down and 10. Catapodis is rolling out to his left again. And he is going to be hit, and he is going to be dropped back at the 33-yard line.
Flag on the play, the 40-yard line.
With a tackle in the backfield.
Yeah, illegal shift.
Well, I think if you're Bella Vista, you decline this one. Take the down in about the same yardage as it would be.
Yeah, make it 2nd and 15 rather than 1st and 15.
Oh, no, this is a personal foul against Bella Vista. So that,
I don't know what that personal foul was for. The Woodcreek coach was very upset about something on the sideline.
well, could it have been a horse collar? Or
He didn't signify.
And he didn't signify face mask either, so I don't know what the personal foul would have been. So they're discussing where to mark the ball. So it's an illegal motion against Woodcreek and a personal foul against Bella Vista. So this is one where I guess you mark off both penalties.
That's what it seems like.
And we'll see where they mark the ball. Because the personal foul came after the play. That was the dead ball signal. They're going to put this one down at the 18-yard line, so that'll be first down yardage.
This just goes from bad to worse for the Broncos here with a minute left.
So when it all shakes down, it's a 1st and 10 for Woodcreek.
We'll start a play.
So 3 wide receiver set for Woodcreek. And now the officials are going to step in again. Everybody stands up.
Oh, the head referee's talking to Coach Gray or Coach Ott over here about something.
We have 1:02 to go before halftime, and Woodcreek is knocking on the door once again. At some point, we may actually play football again. Anderson the lone setback. Catapodis is back to pass. He's got the reception. That's Nielsen that makes the catch. Joey Nielsen, a 6'1", 170-pound senior, makes the catch for about a 6-yard gain. Nielsen, by the way, came into the game with 143 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. 43 seconds to go. Now the head referee is coming over to the sideline once again.
Several seconds ticked off the clock. Yeah,
he's signaling some time to be added to the clock.
Should be 50 seconds. I'm not going to blame the scorekeeper for that. Referee was slow to signal that it was a stoppage, and that's on the far side of the field. That's hard to see.
He's still trying to signal 50 seconds for the clock. And I'm not sure that, are they getting the message? Maybe this is where he just needs to take out his cell phone and call the guy.
Yeah, that's kind of what you're thinking here, right? They may not know how to do it, honestly.
Well, there has to, yeah.
Somebody down there should know, though. I don't know.
They may just decide to keep the time on the field. Okay, so now we've got 5 seconds. There we go.
There
We got it. Okay, so now we're back to 50 seconds. So it is second down and about 4 yards to go. Catapotis, he's going to look to the end zone, and Peralt going up for it. And he comes down with it for a Woodcreek touchdown. Dylan Peralt, 5'9", 160-pound senior, came into the game
Touchdown, Woodcreek.
with 6 receptions and 142 yards. That is his second touchdown reception on the year. And look at this, they're going to try an extra point. And the kick is no good.
It's blocked.
Looks like it was blocked, yes.
I don't know who blocked it, but somebody did.
Doubled it to 3.
So that was Ryan Berry that was attempting the extra point. Brody Krupp also does some kicking, but he was injured earlier in the game, so I don't know if he's going to come back or not.
Well, if there's a weakness in Woodcreek's side of the ball, it's in the extra point game. It certainly isn't on the offensive or defensive side of the ball. But they are now 2 of 5 when it comes to extra points.
And that may not hurt them in this game, but when you come to the playoffs,
yes,
I just kind of wonder if they're going to be kicking the extra points more when the playoffs.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. Certainly an unfortunate thing, and again, penalties, that personal foul. It has been a storyline all season, has been penalties on the Broncos. And it has, all that I can say positive is that the number of penalties have decreased, but we've stabilized at an uncomfortable number still, every week.
Well, as Coach Gray and company try to rebuild the program from the ashes of years and years of winless seasons, obviously that's something that you're going to try to build on going into next year, as you have the returning players and then the guys that come up from the JV squad, and then maybe anybody that may transfer in. Hopefully that is a message that is sent. So here come the Broncos on the kickoff return. This one will come out to about the 26-yard line. Some extra whistles being sounded as Mark Newton was the one that returned the kick there. So 37 seconds to go for the Bella Vista offense. At this point, you're going to go on defense to start the second half unless you have a trick up your sleeve. You've got 2 timeouts left. Do you want to, you're trailing, what have you got to lose, trailing 34-3? Do you want to maybe turn Riley Dick loose and let him see if he can fire something deep downfield and make something happen here? I like an idea of rolling him out to his right.
Yeah, you could have a delayed handoff here or something like that too. I mean, you want to be careful and use up some clock here and not.
Kalik Vaughn is the lone setback, and he will get the carry. And I just love the way he moves the pile. So across the 30-yard line, that's a gain of about 5 yards on the play. And the Broncos will use a timeout.
Timeout, Bella Vista.
At some point in time, I think that if you're going to use the timeouts and you're going to move the ball downfield or try to move the ball downfield, you do need to think about opening it up. But not a bad start there with a couple of timeouts in your back pocket.
Yeah, I mean, by them calling timeout, it seems that they're going to want to try to move the ball here. So if that's the case, then we're going to have to see the ball in the air. Too far away to run, and have not seen any. We have not seen a run of significance, and by that I mean a 20-plus yard run all night from the Broncos. So could it happen? Sure, but I think it's more likely to happen through the air. Maybe you get lucky with a blown coverage or something like that.
So 30 seconds to go. And the Woodcreek Timberwolves coming in 7-1, scoring 40 or more points in most of their games this year. I think there's only 2 games where one of which they only scored 15 against Inderkum, and then at one of their wins they put 28 on the board. Everything else has been like 34 or more. So this is a team that can score, and they seem very methodical. There's a predominantly running attack, although they can throw it. As we saw, Katapotis looks very comfortable in the pocket when he drops back. Damian Ricketts going to go out to the left, but everything else is kind of tight in. It's an I formation set, and again, here's Kalik Vaughn looking for some running room. And that's out to the 34-yard line, and there's the timeout once again for Bella Vista.
I don't understand the timeout there at all, George. You made maybe a yard on that play, and you've called timeout. Now it's third down. So Woodcreek has 3 timeouts. If I'm Woodcreek, I'm going to hold Bella Vista here and get the ball back and try to score again. I don't agree with this at all. If that was a pass play, then maybe. But
well, yeah, because you've got 2 options at this stage. If you're Bella Vista, you run the clock out or you try to move the ball downfield. Here, I think what they were hoping to do is maybe see if they could break off a run, especially with the way they've been able to move the ball with Kalik Vaughn.
Yep.
I mean, the last, 7 or 8 or 9 plays have gone to Kalik Vaughn.
Yep.
But I think now with I don't think they have any timeouts left. They've called 2 now, and they called 1 in the first quarter.
Correct. Yeah, they're out of timeouts. So
I think that you've really seriously got to think about putting the ball in the air. And you're right. If they decide to run the ball here and possibly run out the clock, if you're Woodcreek, you call the timeout. Woodcreek hasn't used any timeouts yet. You can force the punt and then see what you can do with Austin Katapotis and with Dylan Peralt and Joey Nielsen and Gio Akayus. You may not even need Brody Krupp. So Vaughn's going to line up as the lone setback. Kind of a tight, packed formation. Dick is going to drop back to pass. He's going to set up. He's going to go deep, looking for his receiver. This one's intercepted. Second interception of the game, and the play will come to an end. That's Dylan Peralt, just scored the touchdown a few moments ago. He gets himself an interception, and he brings it back to the 50-yard line. So 9.4 seconds to go. This is exactly what you're talking about, Aaron. This is a perfect opportunity for Woodcreek to stretch things out and maybe take a shot at the end zone.
it was just a horrible sequence of play calling. I mean, I don't want to be so negative, but that's simply what it was. You ran the ball twice. You got 7 yards, 8 yards maybe. You burned all your timeouts. Then you threw a ball deeper than you've thrown basically all night. Second interception of the night for your quarterback with 9 seconds left before halftime. Woodcreek's got 3 timeouts and an opportunity to score again. I don't get it.
And they're going to spread it out. Wingman is on the right, 3 wide receiver set. Katapotis has 1 man in the backfield from the 49-yard line of Bella Vista. Katapotis is going to drop back, and he's going to look deep, and he's going to launch. And he's got a man there, diving attempt inside the 15 or the 20-yard line at about the 15. That's Tanner Smith was the intended receiver. 1.9 seconds to go. They can do it again.
That was, the Broncos got very, very lucky there. If that ball's thrown 2 feet more inbounds, that receiver makes that grab, and they're set up for one final play into the end zone. It's a little bit more challenging now. They caught a big break there. This will be the last play of the half.
We shall see what they decide to do. Katapotis comes out with the play. Akayus and Peralt are going to line up on the right side, kind of close in with a wing formation. Peralt comes in motion. Katapotis is back to pass. This time he's going to throw it out to the right side to Peralt and see if he can get this on his legs. He jukes past a couple of receivers and then is spun around, gets by another man, spins around, still on his feet. Dylan Peralt scored a touchdown a few moments ago. It's finally going to be dropped down at about the 12-yard line. That got to be really interesting, but fortunately for Bella Vista, all they had to do was make the tackle before he got to the end zone, and that's exactly what they did. So no touchdown scored there. We have reached the end of the first half of play, 34-3 in favor of Woodcreek. And boy, if you're Bella Vista, last week at halftime they kind of opened up the playbook, and this week, are they going to try it again? Who knows?
I don't know. I've the last little piece there with the defense. I don't know. It was. I don't know.
We're going to check in with Evan downstairs, who looks like he's hanging out with a couple of his closest friends. Evan?
And that's the end of the first half. Senior Julian Maldonado gets the Broncos on the board with 3 points. The Broncos got the offense going towards the end of the second quarter with running back Khalik Vaughn giving some good yardage to the offense. The defense blocked a kick to keep the score at 34-3 at the end of the half. Hoping to see more from the Broncos offense in the second half.
All right, Evan. Evans and Dillons and all kinds of people running around here tonight. So the Broncos trailing 34-3, and you know, if there's one thing that we did see that was impressive in the first half was when they started handing the ball to Khalik Vaughn.
Yeah, and I think that if you're the Broncos here at halftime, you've got to focus on the positives, and that was Khalik Vaughn. He was really the star of the show in the first half for the Broncos. You know, I think on defense, you know, that very last play, I saw a couple Bronco defenders stand still and just watch the ball carrier run by. Absolutely can't have that in a football game. To me, that's you're at a point where those individuals, I think if you're coaches, you got to say, yeah, we're down 34-3. Do you want to play or not? And if not, let's put some of these other guys in and give them a shot here and see if they can make a difference. Kudos to the offense. The players with the offensive line figuring out how to make some blocks so that Khalik can get up the field. And kudos to Khalik Vaughn. I mean, you had said earlier you like to see him run because the pile moves forward. And that's something that we maybe haven't seen as much. So we'll see what the second half brings. They're going to have to spread things out, and they're going to have to give Riley a little bit more time to throw.
Right.
If they're going to see that. And then on defense, everybody just has to kind of take a collective step up, and I'm sure that's what Coach Otta is going to tell them in the locker room.
Well, and looking ahead to next year, we've seen how impressive Khalik Vaughn has been since he has come in and played. They'll have a full season with him next year in his senior year. Obviously, the hope is with the graduating seniors on the offensive line, there's going to be some movement there. Obviously, there are some guys that are coming back next year, and some guys that will be moving up from the JV squad. And again, who knows with people that may transfer in that happened this year, it could happen again. But if they can get the same kind of blocking out in front of him, Khalik Vaughn could be that guy that they expected Carson Newman to be this year before Carson's injury.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you hope that everybody gets bigger, stronger, faster, all of that in the offseason. And so, you know, you don't want to just throw the towel in here. You got to come out and play another half of football. You got another game next week. But you do have to kind of be excited about what the future holds for some of these juniors that'll be seniors next year.
All right, so Bella Vista have not really been able to solve this Woodcreek offense, but quite frankly, not a lot of teams have. Intercom has. Correct. And I think that's been pretty much it. So that's not really a huge embarrassment that Woodcreek has been able to move the ball. They do that against everybody.
Correct.
But you know, you're down 31 points. You roared back for 20 points last week against Yuba City. The possibilities are there, but that's going to involve having to stop them.
Yeah, I've said all year, the talent is there. It's just a matter of execution and discipline. If they can play a disciplined half of football and they can execute with the talent level they have, they can put some points up on the board. So excited to see what the second half has in store.
And one of the keys that you identified at the start of the game was your concern over injuries. So far, we have not seen any Bella Vista player knock on wood or whatever.
Right.
But so far, we've not seen the injuries. The offensive line is holding up, which was one of the key concerns that you had. And as such, Khalik Vaughn's able to move the ball.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Woodcreek is going to go into halftime and say, hey, we got to stop 32. Like, that's an area that we need to adjust. So I would expect them to adjust as well. So it'll be interesting to see what the second half brings.
So we are at halftime, the final home game of the year for Bella Vista and the penultimate regular season game. Been looking in the dictionary.
There you go.
So they're going to play McClatchy next week. So we'll take a little bit of a break, let you enjoy the halftime festivities here at Bella Vista High School. We'll bring you the second half of play in just a few moments here on YouTube.
Okay, give it up for the Bella Vista cheer team. Out. Okay, now taking the field, you have the Bella Vista Bronco Marching Band.
So another rousing performance here at halftime by the Bella Vista High School Marching Band. They really do a good job.
They do an excellent job. It's a fun halftime treat. And I still have not had anyone disprove this, but the fact that Bella Vista is the only high school in the San Juan Unified School District that has a marching band.
And it's a shame that that's the case. I mean, they do a really good job here. It really adds to the flavor of not only halftime, because what else would be happening
right
at halftime? I mean, the cheerleaders, even when the band plays, the cheerleaders do their thing. But once that's over, what are you going to have? People running over, playing football, kids playing football on the, on the field. It is great entertainment, and of course the band also tries to get the crowd going.
Yeah.
It would be easier if it wasn't 34-3, but it would be. But still, they try to get the crowd going, and that helps with the energy and everything like that for the fans.
Yeah, I agree. But I think it gives a positive vibe. It kind of makes a full evening. I was just noticing the time. It's 9 o'clock between senior night and just kind of the length of the first half. It's kind of been a long evening so far.
And we still have 2 more quarters left to go.
Correct.
And in those 2 quarters, it'll be very interesting to see what happens and what Kalik Vaughn is able to do. We have him for 9 carries, 35 yards so far in the game, and that's really pretty much the second quarter when he came in and to play.
Yep.
Passing-wise, Riley Dick has thrown for 46 yards, and it looks like he is he's completed 4 passes so far, and so he looks good when he's not under pressure. Of course, he threw another pick 6 here, but again, it was under pressure. He was either going to get slammed to the ground or he's going to have to get rid of the ball, and unfortunately was intercepted by Dylan Peralta and returned for a touchdown. On the other side, Brody Krupp has 63 yards, but we haven't seen him since he went out with the injury. I would imagine that we're not going to see him the rest of the way unless this game gets dangerously close for Woodcreek. Katapotis has thrown for 111 yards, including a 20-yard touchdown pass to Dylan Peralta, and he looks really good when he's back in the pocket.
Yes, he does.
And then we've seen James Williams come in a little bit, 2 carries. He's at 38 yards. And then Dylan Peralta, 39 yards rushing to go with his 1 reception for 20 yards and a touchdown. And the interception late in the second half. And then that play near the end of the half as well where he almost scored a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what adjustments have been made. I mean, that's part of the fun of high school football. I'm with you on Krupp. I doubt we see Krupp in the second half. Every team's different. Woodcreek comes in here at 7-1, looking to try to improve to 8-1. They've already made the playoffs. It's just a matter now of what seed they're going to play. Their hope is to play for several weeks beyond the end of the regular season. They got to keep their people healthy. No point in putting somebody in that's a little banged up tonight, unless, like you said, unless the game gets close.
Their hope is probably to get that rematch with that certain school that begins with I.
I would think so, yes.
I think they would like very much to respond to what happened on their home field earlier on in the season.
Correct.
All right, so Bella Vista will be kicking off to begin the second half of play, the final home game of the year. The final second half kickoff will come from the Snout.
I love it.
And it's going to be, a lot of, it's going to tell a lot about Bella Vista, how they come out and play in the second half. Obviously, to be down 31 points right now on your senior night is not really what they wanted to have happen. Clearly, you're playing a very good team in Woodcreek.
Just before we get going here in the second half, I was just checking scores in the Capital Valley Conference. Antelope leading River Valley at halftime, 42-0. Ender come over Roseville, 21-10 at halftime. Yuba City with the bye this week, so that's your other Capital Valley.
Roseville has scored 10 points on Endercombe and only put up 7 on Bella Vista.
Yep, both of those schools 7-1 as well.
Here is a kick. This one is taken by Tanner Smith. Tanner Smith has some openings right here, and he just bulldozes over couple of defenders across the 40-yard line. Looks like some talking right now between a couple of players. One of which was Travis Frank as he came off. It looks like he wasn't too keen on something that might have been spoken to him by an opposing player.
I see some changing up on personnel. I see Donovan Williams in at defensive tackle, number 72.
Oh, shit.
Okay, we don't need that. Apologies. Here's a handoff, goes to Anderson. Anderson with some running room. He'll have a first down to the Bella Vista 45-yard line. Of course, we're on YouTube. We're not on regular over-the-air television, so I don't think the FCC has anything to worry about. But
Nope. You never know what you're going to get with high school kids.
that is true. Have to.
So we're gonna practice for a little bit, then I'll come get you. Thank you, Dad.
So that's a pickup of 11 on the play there for Anderson. 1st and 10 for the Woodcreek Timberwolves. Peralt goes in motion. Anderson breaks off a first tackler, and he gets himself another 8 or 9 yards inside the 40-yard line. That's going to be 2nd down and about 1 yard to go. So an 11-yard run and a 9-yard run to get things started here in the second half for Woodcreek. You mentioned changing things up now on the defense. Coaches probably want to see what they have in some of these players that may not have seen a lot of playing time. Catapotis, here's Anderson once again. Anderson this time doesn't get away from the first wave of tacklers, and he'll pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards. And that'll be another first down for Woodcreek. That's a 4-yard pickup for Anderson.
1st and 10 from the 33.
Yeah, now I see Davin Williams in on the defensive front. So Donovan Williams, Davin Williams in as the defensive tackles, changing some personnel up.
Now all we need is James Williams to carry the ball and Davin Williams and Donovan Williams to make the tackle.
That would be excellent. It would be a trio of Williams.
And speaking of Williams, he's in the backfield now. But it's Peralt that will get the handoff, and he breaks off the first round of tacklers and will carry the ball inside the 25-yard line. He's down to about the 23.
Davin Williams did make the tackle on that one, so it's just 10 yards downfield. But.
And it was just the wrong ball carrier.
Right.
So again, another 9 yards, 2nd and 1. Timberwolves very methodical with their running game. Peralt goes in motion. He'll get the pitch play to the short side of the field. He's got all kinds of green in front of him. And Dylan Peralt will be down very close to the goal line. Looks like they're going to mark him right at the 1-yard line. So with Brody Krupp out of the game, Dylan Peralt has come in to play that wing position for the Timberwolves, and they haven't skipped a beat.
No, the ball came out at the end of that play. Bella Vista has the ball. I mean, the referees must have said he was down.
One of the officials came in emphatically pointing to the ground. And so they're saying, or that particular official says down by contact.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like the ball squirted into the end zone, and Bella Vista covered it.
But did it happen after he hit the ground? One of the officials was saying it was down by contact, and they are saying that it is Woodcreek ball.
Goal. Yeah. And I can't argue that because we don't have instant replay. It's a judgment call. You got to trust the judgment of the referees.
We have pink flags tonight. We don't have red flags.
That's right.
So one wide receiver out to the right. I don't expect them to throw. Peralt comes in motion. Here's Anderson, untouched into the end zone for Woodcreek and another touchdown. So just about 3 minutes into the third quarter, Woodcreek is on the board once again.
Looks like they're going to line up to kick this now.
And it is Ryan Berry who will be handling probably all the kicking duties now. Katapotis will set it down. The kick is on the way, and it is good. So the 1 yard run for Anderson, and Berry's kick makes it 41-3 in favor of Woodcreek. And Bella Vista now with 9:05 to go will get their first offensive possession here in the second half. And at this point, you just want to see them put a drive together and hopefully end in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we haven't had a chance to be on offense here in the second half. We're going to get that coming up here. Woodcreek took off about 3 minutes off the clock. So clearly adjustments at halftime still a little bit lacking, and that to be expected against a team as talented as Woodcreek. I do like that we changed personnel up a little bit, give some other folks a shot to see if there could be a different outcome. And there wasn't, but that's okay. I mean, part of this is a learning experience and building. So curious to see now on the offensive side what adjustments they've made.
So 9:05 to go, third quarter. Berry will tee the ball up at the 40-yard line. I want to thank you for joining us this season. 5 live streams here on YouTube. We are excited about the opportunity to do that again next year. We of course, will be bringing you the lacrosse season again. And we'll see about some other possibilities of Bella Vista sports here on YouTube. Fielded here by an up man. That is Damian Rickett, I believe. No, it's Kai Brown. Kai Brown up across the midfield stripe. There goes Kai Brown down the sideline, tight roping it, and he's finally out of bounds. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds, but good field position now for Bella Vista as they went short with the kickoff. And Kai Brown showing the quicks that he's got. And boom, Bella Vista.
Just like that. Good field position for the Broncos.
They're going to say that he stepped out at the 39-yard line. 1st and 10 now for Bella Vista.
We are going to be on a running clock, it looks like.
Again, we're in the third quarter, so there's plenty of time even with the running clock.
Correct.
To for Bella Vista to just put something together. I think that's what you want to do at this point, is just try and string some drives together against a very good Woodcreek team. 3 men in the backfield, and here goes Khalik Vaughn right up the middle, and he's going to pick up a couple of yards into or inside the 45-yard line. It looks like we have a Bella Vista player down. Is that Max?
No, it looks like it's Jacob Disney Taylor.
Okay, I do see Max. I looked like a 56 initially, but
yeah,
I see Max, number 56, Max Keogh, walking off. So it's certainly not the 56 and the 58 when they're contorted, when he's contorted the way he is. They
look very similar.
They can look very similar. So Jacob Disney Taylor, he was, I recall he was banged up a little bit earlier in the season, but he's had himself a pretty solid year on both the offensive and defensive side of the football.
Well, now the Broncos have a decision to make, because regardless of the injury, he's going to have to come out for a play, and this does not look good. EMT's coming out now.
Oh, no.
So like I said, I don't know. Looks like Brendan Chosway is going to go maybe in. He's a senior. No, he's up on his feet.
Well, that is good to see. He's already got a brace on the right lower leg. But he's coming off under his own power.
Limping a little bit.
Limping a little bit. It's kind of favoring one leg. So He'll come over and come down to the sideline and seek some additional treatment, I would imagine. And it looks like he's having a conversation right now with his teammates, kind of encouraging them and urging them to kind of make something happen here. And he's in on the conversation with a couple of the other linemen right now.
Yeah, he's standing up. I don't, it was a cramp or what that was.
So 2nd and 8 for Bella Vista. And I believe it's the Kalik Vaughn show continuing here. So that'll bring it down. That'll be another 6 yards on the play for Kalik Vaughn. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Bella Vista taking their time with the running clock at 7:20 to go. Rickett will go out to the left. They'll go with a straight I formation in the backfield. Here's Bernhard gets the handoff, and he has stood up in the backfield, and he is driven back to the 39-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 2, and that's going to be a 4th down, which it's got to be 4th down territory here for Bella Vista at this point.
Yeah, they're going to go for it here. I think you have to.
Call it a loss of 1 yard on the play. So it's 4th and 4 for Bella Vista. That run by Bernhard snaps a streak of what, 10, 15 straight plays for Kalik Vaughn?
Yeah, something like that.
So 4th and 4 split backs in the backfield now. Play fake. Riley Dick is going to roll out. Look to throw it downfield, and
looks like it was
pass
batted
is
down.
incomplete and batted down. So the ball goes over on downs for Woodcreek.
And you could just kind of see the dejection here. Yeah, that drive stalled out, and that's hard.
Yep.
You know, this is one of those games where, you know, you have to dig deep and kind of figure out what measure of a person and of a student athlete you are to be able to gut this out now for, you know, a quarter and a half still.
So Woodcreek gets the ball back. Makes you wonder at what point maybe they might consider bringing in, and it looks like they are bringing in a new quarterback.
Number 16, it looks like.
Josiah Melendez is a 6 foot, 155-pound sophomore. It's like he's going to finish up the game at quarterback. Anderson is still in as the lone setback. Looks like Barry is in the game, and a little kind of a busted play as they get the ball to Williams. I'm sorry, it was Williams in the backfield, and he was stood up and dropped. It looks like they're going to call that no gain. So Williams, they might be done with Anderson for tonight as well. And I mean, they've got another league game next week. They've got playoffs ahead of them. They certainly don't want to face any injuries. Here's the handoff once again to Williams. No, it's a pitch back to the outside and running room. All the way down the field, that's Tanner Smith, and Tanner Smith is going to take that into the end zone. So again, that misdirection with the handoff and then the pitch play, and more points on the board for Woodcreek. And that one's roughly about 60 yards on the play. So they'll come in and attempt the extra point once again. 47 points on the board. Katapotis is back in to set the ball down. And here's Barry's kick. And he puts it through again.
One of the positives there, not in that last play, but the play before, was Donovan Williams. You know, this is a senior, has not played a lot this year. In the game, makes a big tackle. I think that's important. You know, he's been here every day just like everyone else. He's getting an opportunity, and he made a play. And I think, you know, in a game like this that is, you know, out of hand, You have to look for moments like that and say, hey, but that's a positive, and that's a positive in that young man's career, and celebrate that.
Well, and you've mentioned the injuries, and I know that also when it is senior night, they try to get those opportunities for those senior players, whether they put someone that hasn't played all year, maybe they put them on kickoff. That's what happened to me my senior year, as I was on the football team. Didn't play at all, really. But on the last home game of the year, they put me on the kickoff return team. And so they gave me an opportunity to get in on that last game. And so I know that they try to do that. So good for him taking the advantage of the opportunity. And who knows, maybe he's earning himself some playing time next week in the regular season finale.
Yeah, you never know.
So Woodcreek, what is it, 7 touchdowns plus the opening kickoff of the game. It's like their 8th kickoff of this ball game. And here come the Broncos. Bringing it back out, that's Alvarez, brings it out back across the 25-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark him at the 27. 1st and 10 for Bella Vista. And again, an opportunity for the offense.
See what they can do. Yeah, on the set, this is another opportunity, like you said, see what they can do.
So Riley Dick will lead them out. Matthew Bunny is in there as well. Catch all the other personnel. First and 10. This time they'll give it to Bernhard. Bernhard has some running room around the end. Bernhard is tripped up as he crosses the 45-yard line, and he is going to be marked out of bounds. And they're going to give him the progress over the 50 and into Woodcreek territory. So that's the first time we've really seen Bernhard get an opportunity to find some open field.
Yeah, and again, celebrate that. Big run, good blocking, good execution. That's a win.
And Bernhard, a 5'11", 160-pound senior, has had some great games early on in the season. You want to see if he can go out on senior night as well. Certainly Kalik Vaughn has played very well for Bella Vista. Logan Farron is back in the backfield as well. Bunny comes in motion. Here's Farron, who stood up right at the line of scrimmage. In fact, that's a loss of yardage back to midfield. And so it'll be a 2nd and 12 coming up. So right now on this possession, Bella Vista going with its 2 regulars in the backfield, Logan Farron and Nolan Bernhard. They're going to call this a loss of 1 to the 49-yard line. Second and 11. And this looks like Matthew Bunny. No, this is Bernhard. Bernhard will bring it inside the 35-yard line. He's down to the 31. So a couple of nice runs on this possession by Nolan Bernhard, as we are now down under 30 seconds to go with the running clock here in the 3rd quarter. So we'll be bringing the 3rd quarter to a close momentarily, probably before they get the next play off.
Yeah, I think so.
Riley Dick now coming out to the huddle just now with 8 seconds to go. They're going to bring him up, but that clock's going to expire once again. Oh, he got the play off. Here is the handoff right up the middle, and that looks like that was Logan Farron, who brings it down to the 25-yard line. Very quick snap there, but it worked, and they pick up 6 yards heading into the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
So we are done with 3 quarters of play, 47-3 in favor of Woodcreek, who seem to be well poised to take their momentum through their game next week and then into the playoffs the following week. So Bella Vista, by the way, they will be at McClatchy next week.
Correct.
No YouTube live stream. You check out NFHS.com to see if McClatchy has a live stream. In fact, I don't even know at this point. But this is going to be it for us for the football season this year, and certainly it's been a lot of fun.
It's been great. You know, you always wish that you could end on a win, right? But it's been a lot of fun. I know it's brought a lot of happiness to a lot of grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins that have been able to watch some of these young men perform. And yeah, I don't know about the live stream next week. I heard rumblings that the game might be played at Sac City College. I don't know if McClatchy's lights or something. I don't know, but I haven't had that confirmed. But if it is at Sac City College, it won't be broadcast. I know that. So
Well,
we'll
if that's
see.
the case,
Yeah,
I know we can't we can't go and do their live stream, but unless they ask us. But
sure.
Who knows?
Fourth quarter looks like we're all set up. They got the field changed and the opposite end now and ready to go.
So it looks like we're going to get going here. 30.
They marked the extra point good.
Because I have 48.
Yeah, I think you're right. The score we're having a discussion here as to whether it's 48-3 or 47-3. I thought they marked the extra point good on that kick.
I thought so too.
So I think 40. The live stream we have 48. The scoreboard says 47. Nobody's arguing.
Curious what Max Prep says.
We'll go with 48.
Max Prep says 48 as well.
So first play of the third quarter. It's 3rd and 3. Here's Damian Rickett. And Rickett has some running room, and he's going to be brought down at the 21-yard line. That should be enough for a first down, depending on where they spot that. And so just underway here with the fourth quarter of play, 48-3 in favor of Woodcreek. They're going to mark it at the 20, so that is a first down for the Broncos. Looking for their first touchdown of the game. Clock is, again, it's a running clock continuing to run here. Rickett will go out to the left. Farron is the lone setback. Bernhard comes in motion. He gets the handoff, and he is upended crossing the 20 and down to the 19-yard line for a gain of 1.
Oh, it could have been there on the left side of the line. Logan Farron had run out to take on blockers. Nolan cut that up. Sure, that's how the play was designed, but there was nobody out to the left if he'd have gone a little bit further, especially with having Logan Farron out there as a blocker.
So Woodcreek will close out the regular season next week with a home game against Roseville. That could be a really interesting one next week. And then, of course, as you know, Bella Vista will be taking on McClatchy. It's a McClatchy home game, but we're not certain on the location yet. Logan Farron again is the lone setback. Here's Dick. He's back to pass. He's under pressure. Tries to get away. Sends it downfield. Damian Rickett with the reception. He's inside the 15-yard line. They're standing right at the 13. He's going to be about 3 yards shy of the first down, and that'll bring up a third down for Bella Vista.
Nice composure from Riley there in the pocket. Kind of had to work outside the pocket. Stay composed, made the throw. Solid effort. Cleek Vaughn checking back in for the Broncos.
Well, you know that if you give the ball to Kalik Vaughn, it may be 3 yards before anybody is able to tackle him. So we'll see if they go with him or maybe they take to the air. Farron is in the backfield along with him. And it goes to Logan Farron. He goes opposite of where Kalik Vaughn was blocking. Farron's inside the 5, and he's going to be down at the 3-yard line for a Bella Vista first down. 9:20 to go. And it looks like Jamison Seepak is down and rolling around in pain at about the 9-yard line.
Yeah, he is. That is not good to see at all. He is clutching at his knee, it looks like. That is not good at all.
And he is also clutching at his face mask. And I think he is in a lot of pain right now. And they're trying to calm him down a little bit, but if it hurts, it's so Even with a running clock, they do stop it for the injury with 9:09 to go in the ball game.
The coaches have all left and left the training staff out there with them, which leads me to believe that maybe it's a cramp.
It could be based on how they're working the injury. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, the calf. It looks
What
like
they're
they're working
working.
the calf.
Have you ever gotten a cramp there?
Yeah.
It's not fun.
No, it's. Yeah, it's a.
And I don't
cramp
mean to
he's
laugh,
No.
but yeah, I think we've all felt that before. He is being helped off and limping a lot, so they're going to try and bring him over to the sideline. Getting a nice round of applause from the crowd.
Yeah, that's a painful. You need a cooler full of bananas on the sideline to help get some potassium in these guys.
So CPOC obviously has to come out of the game.
Yeah, it's a cramp. They got a foam roller over there, and
it looks like Nate DeLucchi is going to come in and play at the tight end spot now, as he will line up on the right side. First and goal from the 3. Kalik Vaughn pushing forward toward the end zone. Touchdown Broncos.
there we go.
So for Kalik Vaughn, that is his 3rd touchdown of the year. And the first trip into the end zone for Bella Vista this game. Julian Maldonado Canejo is on to attempt the extra point. Matthew Bunny will hold. And the kick is up and through.
You know, now suddenly that 3-point field goal that they got in the first half, I mean, now you got 10 points. You're in double digits now, right? If you don't kick that field goal, you go for it and you don't get it, you're still in single digits. So that looks a little more positive on the scoreboard as well.
48-10 does look a lot better than 48-7, I will say that.
Yeah, and certainly better than 48-0.
Yes, indeed. Well, I like what they were able to do there.
Yeah.
They mixed it up with some passing and some running, and some big time running as they got the seniors back going again, and Logan Farron and Nolan Bernhardt, and of course you feel good for Kalik Vaughn putting it in the end zone, considering what he's meant to the offense here in this game tonight.
Yeah, I hope that was intentional because he certainly has been a workhorse tonight, and it's nice for him to be able to find the end zone. Wasn't easy, but he got there.
So it's 48-10. And Ryan Warner has the ball teed up on the 40-yard line and will get set to boot this one away. The clock continuing to run. Woodcreek has already brought their backup quarterback into the game. And the left-footed boot by Ryan Warner is going to bounce and be taken at about the 15-yard line. The Timberwolves will begin possession this time around across the 30.
I see Marcelo Cruz going in as a linebacker. That's a change in personnel. He's a junior, but again, you wonder if we're giving him a little bit of a little experience. See Noah Weston in the game.
Well, and it's certainly
Damian Washington, who's listed as a freshman. Is that right?
That's what the roster says.
Ah, okay.
Give him a little bit of time here. These are all guys that are going to be suiting up for the Broncos next year. So this is valuable playing time for them. And here is the quarterback taking the ball out across the 45 to the 46-yard line, Josiah Melendez, for a first down run for the Timberwolves. Looks like they're pretty much going to the running game the rest of the way here. First and 10, 46-yard line. And Melendez will keep it again. This time he goes right up the middle. And he's got all kinds of running. He loses the ball. Still on the ground. Fight for it. And he may have gotten it back, and that's what they say. Ball kind of just slipped out of his hands as he was trying to turn the corner at the 40-yard line. That kid can run.
So I like what the coaching staff's done here. They basically substituted in a lot of players that don't get a lot of playing time to give them a shot. The scorer is immaterial at this point, so allowing them to go in and get some reps, be it underclassmen or seniors, is a great way to kind of finish this game out with 4.5 left.
Melendez will pitch the ball this time. It goes to the right side with lots of running room for Woodcreek.
There's a flag down.
There is a flag down.
It's going to be an illegal shift.
Tyneal Martin, who had a pick six earlier in this game, is the one that carried the ball this time near the end zone. But yeah, as you mentioned, this is going to come back with 4:08 to go.
Yeah, illegal shift.
One of the coaches for Woodcreek is coming out to talk to the referee. Wonder if a timeout was called, because he can't be.
Well, he's very upset, but he shouldn't be, because he had two men in motion at the same time, which is an illegal shift. One moved his feet, the other one was in motion. That's an illegal shift. I don't know why he's frustrated by that.
And can a coach come off the sideline without a timeout being called like that?
No, that should be a personal foul, but Coach Ott, our defensive coordinator's on the field. Oh, no, they did call timeout. So he was okay coming out.
So they do call the timeout for, and I think that they just made the official signal because Woodcreek's all ready to come back up. They do stop the clock for the timeout.
Well, I think, the unfortunate part about a penalty like that is the illegal shift had nothing to do with the outcome of the play, and that's frustrating as a coach to say, hey, okay, fine, whatever, illegal shift, but it didn't matter in this case. I think they might have made Woodcreek take a timeout because of the coach coming on the field.
That could be. The ref probably said, I can either penalize you or you call a timeout. Martin comes in motion. He gets the pitch. Martin has some running room, and just like the last play, down the sideline, head up on a defender, and he's brought down at the 20-yard line.
Yep, exact same play they ran.
Looks like that was Cameron Rouse that felt the brunt of Tyneal Martin there, and he gets credit for the tackle. Ball inside the 20-yard line. 3 minutes, 3:10 to go. And here's Melendez, who tried to break off the middle of the field because he couldn't find anything there. And as he did, he wound up in the waiting arms of Donovan Williams and was dropped for a loss.
Second good tackle Donovan's had in the game. The clock gets closer to 2.5 left in this ball game.
Timberwolves taking their time here. They play Roseville next week at home. Bella Vista will be at McClatchy. And it looks like Melendez wants to throw a pass, and the pass is incomplete near the goal line. Doesn't really get an opportunity, I guess, to throw too many passes. I kind of wonder why you would throw a pass there, but.
Well, maybe just to give him some reps. I'm with you. I mean, I think the ground and pound attack here is what's appropriate, but there's also only 2 minutes left in the game, and so, maybe you want to give him a shot, give him a couple reps here.
So the running clock at 1:45 and counting. 3rd down and 9 for Woodcreek. Martin comes in motion. He'll get the pitch. Tyneal Martin with all kinds of running room, and he winds up in the end zone. It's not running up the score if you can't stop him.
No, it's not.
And you know, I've seen them run that play all night, and there's nobody there to defend it.
No, you know, we've got a different set of defenders in and the same challenge. That's a whole. So it'll be interesting, you know, as they watch film and recap and get ready for McClatchy this coming Friday night, a week from tonight, for their season finale. It'll be interesting to see how they address that.
So Barry is on to attempt the extra point. He sets it down, and that's or sets it through, and that kick is good. That now brings us to a 55-10
I think that's going to do it. There's 45
Woodcreek
seconds left.
lead. So, I think you're right. I think they're just going to let this thing run out, and there won't even be a kickoff at this point. Bella Vista looks like they're gathering out at midfield and are ready to, and in fact, they're starting the walk across the field to shake hands. And so the Broncos are going to close out the home season for 2023 with a 54-10 loss to a very, very good Woodcreek team that is ready to ride the momentum into next week's game against Roseville, and we'll see how far they go in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they'll do with Roseville. You know, Inderkum was not letting Roseville run away by any means. I think it was 35-16 when I looked in the second half as they were going. So curious, you know, what that game will look like next week.
And, so win number 4 is waiting for them next week. We've been waiting the last couple of weeks for that that win number 4. They almost got it against Roseville 2 weeks ago, as a matter of fact. But that's what makes them playoff eligible. Not necessarily a guarantee that they'll go, but certainly it makes them eligible, and we'll see what happens after that. McClatchy is a team that they should beat, looking at the records.
On paper, yeah.
Yeah, on paper. Games are not played on paper.
Nope.
They're played inside computers, actually.
That's
right. So, well, Kenny Mayne there from
Yeah.
ESPN.
Yeah.
So some positives from tonight. Obviously, Kalik Vaughn is one of them.
Yeah, to me, the big positive is Kalik Vaughn and his running approach, his you know, the attack that he had, and I think also the consistency that he had. You know, the ability to run the ball time and time again. What we've seen in weeks past is that he runs a couple times and then they stop it. Tonight, Woodcreek had a little bit of a challenge with that, so I would take that away as a big positive. And then honestly, I think having some of the seniors be able to play tonight, some of the underclassmen at the end, and make some plays and do some things, I think that's another positive that you take away as well. 48
yards for Kalik Vaughn and the touchdown for Bella Vista. To cap off, again, a really good game for him. Obviously, he's sharing a lot of the duties with Logan Bernhard and Logan Farron and Nolan Bernhard.
Right.
Combine the two.
Right.
They have been a pretty good 1-2 punch for the Broncos this year. Next year, he could very well be kind of the featured back that they were expecting Carson Newman to be this year.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you want to build. I mean, this is all about building the program. We mentioned earlier that, you know, this has been a program that has been winless for years. And then a couple of years ago, they got a win. And then last year, they won 4 games, get credit for 5 because of the forfeit. And now you're sitting at, 3-6. And, you know, the goal should be to end at 4-6, right? And and just becoming playoff eligible, I don't think the focus needs to be on, hey, we made the playoffs. It's that we were playoff eligible. We did more than we've done. Doesn't mean, you know, you're going to make it in or not. But if they can go next week and they can win, then you also end your season on a win, the regular season on a win. You take that in. For all these kids that are juniors, you build on that, right? It's hard when you go through a period where you lose games. You lose close games. Like in Roseville, you have a game at Yuba where it doesn't look like you're going to win, and then you come back and you almost win again.
Right.
So to be able to get a win next week would really help kind of cap off the season. So hopeful that they'll put the work in this week and be able to have that outcome.
2 4-win seasons the last 2 years for Bella Vista as they head into next year. We were noticing that some of the JV outcomes against some of these really good teams like Antelope and Roseville, a couple of wins for the JV team. Don't know if that's going to translate into varsity wins down the road, but it's encouraging to see that they're building something here, and that who knows, maybe they'll get over that 4-win hump next year. Maybe we won't be talking about bowl eligibility at 4 wins. Maybe we'll talk about eligibility, playoff eligibility at 6 wins. and having that opportunity. So who knows?
Well, I think another positive when you look at the season, and I don't have the scores in front of me, but certainly last year they did not lose to Roseville 7-0. Certainly last year they did not lose to Yuba City 30-22. The games are closer. They're a more competitive football team. And so as the coaching staff helps these young men understand, you are playing better football. The end of the game outcome may not be what you want, but you are playing more solid football. You can build on that as well, even with a loss.
It has been a pleasure. This has been a lot of fun.
This has been awesome. I've loved it.
This has been a lot of fun. I hope you're willing to do this again next year, because this is I'm up for it, and who knows what we might be able to expand what we're doing. Certainly we'll have the lacrosse schedule, the lacrosse games, the home games for you. We're looking at maybe some other opportunities in the future as well. So we want to say thank you to all of you who have tuned in this season for the for our football live streams. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining us all year. We'll talk to you again next year. Once again, our final score tonight, Bella Vista loses this one by a score of 55-10. We want to say thanks to Scarlett Thompson, our statistician, Miles Cantrell, who has done some sideline and camera work for us all year, Julie Tharlson, my wife, for her work this year, Peyton Hilton, who was working cameras tonight, Aaron Kehoe, my broadcast partner, my partner in crime all year.
Right.
Thank you so much. Evan Badaseta, I'm getting his name wrong, for doing sideline reporting tonight. Again, thank you. Thank you to the Booster Club, to Coach Jim Gray, to the athletic department here at Bella Vista High School. It's been a great run. Thank you for tuning in. For Aaron Kehoe, I'm George Tharlson. Have a great night and a great weekend.